else. But let's see. I have my handy dandy notebook. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I only got. I'm basically. I got this. My boiler room points. But I gotta tell you, man, I have seen The Big Short, and I'm no exaggerating, over 100 times. That one slowly over the few years it's been out has creeped into my top 10, maybe like number 6.
Yeah.
Because I saw it so much. Because I saw it at the movie theater and I thought it was just a great movie as it was shot.
Yeah.
And then when I started, I don't know, I forgot what it was. I remember I saw like Moneyball. It had the feeling for it. And then like Friday Night Lights kind of had that vibe that like take your time to watch these movies. And just by watching the Big Short 100 times, I started understanding kind of the talk of how the stockbroker kind of goes. And and with that being said, I think we're ready to start.
I'm watching it right now, dude.
I got Boiler Room in the back playing.
All right, cool. So we're opposite. And they're this one's a little bit longer than Boiler Room. But yeah, dude.
You ready to go? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do this. So what I told you, I was listening to our show and I totally forgot that hey everybody. We're here today. It's Monday, not our usual Sunday, but it's the Monday morning or afternoon at this point. And we're doing side by side today. How's everybody doing?
Oh, everybody on this end is doing great there, CJ.
Good to hear.
Just having a great day off. I was off the weekend. It was nice. It was relaxing. So,
Was there a lot of chilling?
Yeah.
How about chillaxing? Were you chillaxing as well?
Oh yeah.
As long as you're keeping it real, it's all that really matters.
Exactly.
And maybe
as real as could be.
And as we learn, as when keeping it real goes wrong, just learn from your moves and move on. And hey, so today we are jumping into 2 movies that they have the common theme of what stock market is what we were saying.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's going to be 2000's A Boiler Room, rated R, 2 hours, crime, drama, thriller, released February 18th, 2000. A college dropout attempting to live up to his father's high standards gets a job as a broker for a suburban investment firm, which puts him on the fast track to success. But the job might not be as legitimate as it first appears to be. Director, Ben Younger. Writer, Ben Younger. And we're doing side by side with one of CJ's all-time favorites, and hopefully will be one of Ben's favorites. The Big Short, 2015, was released 2015, rated R, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Biography, comedy, drama. December 23rd, 2015 was its release date. In 2006, 2007, a group of investors bet against the U.S. mortgage market. In their research, they discover how flawed and corrupt the market is. Director Adam McKay, writers screenplay by Charles Randolph and Adam McKay. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. McKay. And there's another writer, Michael Lewis, based on the book upon Michael Lewis. So there's a book on this. So Ben, you wanna come into the boiler room with me for a second and have a talk?
Yeah, man. Let's do it. I don't know if I saw a Boiler Room the entire time I was watching that movie. I was expecting it to come around the corner, just be in that boiler room, but never. Didn't see it one time.
He was waiting for it. Where's his damn roommate we talking about?
I mean, that's what I was expecting the first time I watched it. I remember the first time I watched this, I did not retain a single bit of it because this is like watching this is like I'd never seen this movie before. I had a vague idea of what was going on. But dude, honestly, like I'm pretty sure I watched this with my parents on pay-per-view. I'm 90% sure, but I must not have been paying much attention because, like I said, this seemed like a brand new movie to me.
Dude, so like I love when you say that about like you'd have family time and watch movies together. Like, this one's one of those, huh?
Yeah, man. It was just like my dad was kind of, now that I kind of think back on it, man, he would always pick like really interesting movies or like blockbuster movies, like let's see, around the time summer would come out, because normally it would take like, oh, it was a little bit slower back then, but um, I would always see how long a movie would take from getting to theaters to like HBO, you
Yeah.
know, and that by the time I quit watching HBO on like DirecTV and all that, it was about a year. It took about a year for a movie to be out of theaters, depending on how good the movie was. Now, if it was a good movie, it would stay in theaters longer, and other release would get pushed back. Um, but yeah, it started off about a year and a half, and then worked its way down to a year, pretty quickly. The turnaround was pretty fast, man. I mean, after it was off DirecTV, I mean, it was on HBO. It would be on DirecTV for probably about a month or two, 2 months, 3 months, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'd be on there for a
Like,
while, right? Like,
yeah, it like I said, it really depended on the movie. If the movie wasn't that big, it wouldn't be on there as long. But if it was like a movie they could make money off of for a long period of time, oh, they keep it on there forever, man.
yeah, funny how that
Uh,
works.
yeah, and I think that kind of ties into our movies today too, man. Like it's just
Money, 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 money,
money,
money.
money, money, money.
I like so what you just said. You were speaking my language, so that's why we and I get along very well. Because I remember I'd do that. I'd be like, all right, theater movies are. I just saw the theater. I gotta wait till summer. Okay, in fall to be available. Like you can, and then you find. And I found out that movies were released on DVD on Tuesdays.
Yeah, so
And
did I.
once I found that
And
out,
movies were released on Wednesdays and Fridays.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I didn't know they did. And then once you find, I remember one of my cousins told me that he's like, "There's movies coming out." He's like, "I need you to buy it for me, and you got to get there on Tuesday." And I was like, "Why? Why Tuesday? That's when they release the movies. You don't know that? How can you not know that?" I was like, "Okay, Tuesdays. I remember that."
I think that was when they were released CDs as well. Was
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Because I figured that out by reading the Best Buy ads. Like, okay, coming out Tuesday, and I like figured out. I was like, okay, it comes out every Tuesday. Interesting.
You know, what you said CDs. I was hearing the AM FM radio, and I must have been listening to one of the alternative rock bands or stations here because they were saying Nirvana came out with another or like a remake of their album, not a remake, a release of their, like 20 years, something like 20, whatever the time it's been, and they said it's coming out in a blue cassette player. And the disc jockey was going like, "Yeah, where are you gonna find a disc, a CD or a cassette player these days?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're on eBay for $500. Go like they're there, or you can find them at a thrift store." But it's funny how technology kind of can come back and how it can repeat. And just like these movies in the stock market, everything repeats itself. I will say I love that we chose these movies. Because I want to learn that monologue that Ben Affleck does with Jim Young.
Mm-hmm.
That beginning, I totally forgot he has like I thought this was his only scene, was this one and the one when they're like when they need him. But he's
actually
here. He's in
quite
a
a
little
bit.
Yeah. So I mean, this is Ben Affleck right before this is like after Reindeer Games, and like he's already in the View Skew. Like this is right before he takes off, and man, he comes in and does his cameo. And when I'm watching this movie, like I'm like, man, this is that Glenn Ross. That movie, have you seen that one? Glenn Ross. It's Alec Baldwin's monologue in that movie. It's about real estate. They bring it up in this movie. I go, this has a very feel for that, and then they bring it up. But the reason I remember watching this movie in the theaters, but like you said, I don't remember anything of it. I just remember I remember Ben Affleck scenes the most. I remember the father scene because I was like, and then I remember that Vin Diesel can act. I was like,
Yeah,
like, Vin Diesel's like he's like one of my favorite characters.
This was right before Fast and the Furious, I believe. I
think Fast and Furious was already out.
Was it 99?
98 or 99, something like that.
I thought it was 2001 for some reason.
Oh, go for it, dude. I go for it. I think you might be right. 'Cause I think 04 was the Fast and Furious 2. So I think it might be 2001. Let's see. 2001.
Okay.
So
this is
right before. He was the Vin Diesel. I mean, he was in another movie called The Knockaround Guys. And it's like Barry Pepper. You seen that one?
I know what you're talking about.
God, he does a good scene in there because he's like his neighborhood bully meets the other neighborhood bully, but they're adults, and he like just tells them about I've been in 500 fights. You could always tell when somebody's been in 500 fights because he's describing the scene of when he's about to beat that guy up. Like he's telling him what he's gonna do, and the way he does it, it's like it's awesome. Like he just kind of gets him with the beating the crap out of this guy, but he's like narrating it. Like it's kind of funny. I mean, it's crazy, but it's a good movie. Knock Around Guys. I want to rewatch that one. There are a lot of talented actors in this movie, starting with our main star, what Giovanni Ribisi, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, that's how I've always said it, at least.
That's what we say it on Side by Side. Sorry, Giovanni, if I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, it's Italian last name. Dude, he can act, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
the date scene with Nia Long, what's her name in the movie? Abby. Yeah, Abby. The date scene with her, like he makes it look so natural, and it even reminded me when I used to go on dates. I was a dater back in the day. I used to take girls and women on dates. It was fun. But you know, when it reminded me of that first time we just kind of when you hit it off with someone on a date, like it's cool, you know, like there might not lead anything beyond the night or the evening. It might just that's just the date. But I like that it shows like he's in the moment. But as an actor, like he does it so well. It's well made. It's well received. I was like, dude, this guy's like he does a great job. Remember, there's spoilers in this movie. So, I mean, on this podcast, so we're going there. And also, we're talking about the stock market. We're not giving any advice on the stock market. So, for anybody that's listening, we do not know how to do that. We're just talking about a movie movies that are about the stock market. So, we're not giving any advice, and we're not guiding anybody to anything. It's just about the movies. But the part where he cries to his father, that scene is not only deep, but it was like it hits you perfect beat in the movie. You have like, and you even see like the growth in the characters. I love the way it comes in. The boiler room comes in as just like it already starts. Like he's already established as a poker, a gambler, casino, like, and that's pretty cool. Like for that age, to like kind of be doing that kind of business, like
yeah. And it had kind of like I mean, obviously this movie came out before John Wick, and it wasn't the first time to do it. But like you come in and you're like, all right, everybody, you know, you get everybody hyped up and everything like that. And then it's like, all right, then we go to the story, you know, it's like you come in at some point in the story and then you go back and then you start telling it, you know, from the beginning. Funnily enough, dude, I watched Sonic the Hedgehog. It's on Prime.
It's free.
It's free. It's not terrible. I was not paying attention, to be completely honest, all the way up 100%, but it was playing. I did catch some moments. It was good. I would suggest watching it. I think you and Max would enjoy it.
Yeah, I watch. So it's a child movie. You can.
Yeah, no, okay, I mean cool. I mean, you know, there's no like bad words or anything. Probably a couple innuendos, but I mean, it's mostly just a blue blur going across the screen.
Well, I'm glad because as he didn't get the boiler room at all, and he didn't understand Big Short. So I guess we should watch the Sonic.
throw him a bone, you know. But it was an interesting story. I was like, okay, that's a cool way to kind of look at it. So, because they explain the rings and everything. So, it was solid, and they definitely set themselves up for a second one. So 100%.
That's good. All right, we'll look into that. I'll watch it. What do you call it? This movie, the Boiler Room? When we talk about it has a '90s vibe to it in a way. Like I feel this is a transition movie. I feel like it was shot in '99 or '98ish, and then it was released in 2000. So I feel like it's a transition. It has like that turn of the century with it. Like it's bringing it, but it's also in now.
Kind of like Office Space, you know, kind of how it had that turn of the century kind of feel to it.
Exactly. This one kind of has it. Man, as I'm playing it right now, and I'm just seeing his character. I feel like Seth Davis, the character, he changes, but it's like inward. Like he you know, he's more confident the way he talks, but he never really like you never see it like where he's like shitty and then he gets good. Now he's just a good salesman, you know, and he gets good at it. And man, dude. I'm just gonna that guy Nicky Cat. Do you remember him?
No.
Do you remember you know the guy? He's Greg, the character Greg.
Yeah.
Do you remember him from anything? Look who he is in the movies. I didn't recognize him, and then because dude he gets under my goddamn. Sorry, he gets under my skin.
Clint.
He like
okay.
You see who he is? That's the character he's played.
The Bird. Let's see here.
He's in Dazed and Confused. He's the bully.
Yeah, he was the one that started the fight whenever they were out at the Moon Tower. School of Rock. Razor, was that one of the bandmates?
I don't know who that is actually. I don't remember School of Rock very well. But I was gonna say in the Burbs, he's one of the guys with long hair. He's like one of the neighbors, but he's the villain in Dazed and Confused, like the guy that beats up Adam Goldberg. But and this one, like he's kind of had like villainous roles, but this one, he I don't know, man. He kind of steals the scenes a little bit. Like
Yeah.
he's demanding in the way he sells it, the way he's like the confidence in her, and the way he thinks. Like I feel like the way the Greg thinks the way the world works is all based off money, and it's kind of weird how like he tries to get Abby that we're still together. Oh, she goes, we're not together. He's like, no, that's not my not according to me. I was like, ugh. It's like
Yeah, dude, he was that real douchey kind of person that that was like, it's my way all the time kind of thing. It was interesting, dude. Like after, because he has that conversation with Seth in the car about like grade school fights and everything and getting like pushed around.
yeah.
And as soon as he like talks, stands up to him or does something against him, that's the first thing he does is push him to the ground. Like it was a schoolyard fight. It's like his first reaction is like to react instead of actually,
Think
he
about
could have
it.
talked, he could have talked shit, just like the rest of them do, instead of actually punt or pushing somebody down. Man, it's just interesting, that whole dynamic of the workspace. Just constantly putting, dude, just what they call each other throughout the whole movie, man. It just the language that was picked, it was like, all right, these guys are assholes,
Yeah, dude.
every single one of them.
Like if you thought you hated them by just by looking at them, wait till they open their mouth, and they're gonna
Yeah,
really like they did do the like you're right that
they
the selective words they used right at the point. Like Scott Kahn has played like that energetic crazy guy, but this one he's not likable at all.
no,
Like
they
Scott Kahn's
don't.
God, I was like, dude, man, dude, you have like that because in Friday, what's it not Friday Night Lights? It's Varsity Blues. Tweeter,
Mm-hmm.
he does a pretty good job at playing like the crazy receiver and like the wild boy.
That
Um,
lovable fuck up that you have around you.
yeah, Tweeter drinks beer. Well, because Tweeter drinks beer. Jose
Yeah.
Richie, that's his character's name. So even when you look at like him like
I
oh
wouldn't
like
even known that if you didn't. I wouldn't have known his name.
oh 'cause yeah you don't yeah because I
You
remember
really
he's
don't even. You don't even see him that much. You just see him in.
his actions and also
Yeah.
you're right you don't know his name too much because he doesn't they call him always Richie stop Richie even when he
Mhm.
beats that guy up like that and the fight scenes here I like that they're more believable they're not like they're like come here they're more like cluttered they're all crushed to like all everybody's like just like sardines next to each other in a fight because that's kind of how it looks at a bar people get a fight you don't really have all this area to fight where you can't do roundhouses and stuff.
I was expecting him to get in a fight with that table of gay guys too.
Oh
I was
god
like, oh, it's about to go down.
but they got
That
him
yeah.
and so that scene right there with the gay dudes like man you know what it kind of made me because it resembled that scene prior to that where they actually go where they're real stockbrokers and that's why they mess with them because those guys are real stockbrokers. And I mean, even Jim Young, Ben Affleck's character in the very beginning when he tells that guy, get out of here, get the fudge out of here, get you fudging dumb. I'm gonna say fudge, fudging dumbass, and he goes, get the fudge out of here, and then yeah, I'm correcting myself because my son, I don't want him to hear me, and he goes, yeah, sit down and whatever. And then he goes, who's got their 7 series license? All right, you too, sir. Get out of here. We train
Yeah.
brokers. We don't have, and that's like, cause if you have a real legit broker in there, he's going to be like, hey, wait, this is all wrong. Cause already, these are just a bunch of hungry people that want to move up, which you do see that Greg in the beginning, he's trying to mentor Seth. He's really trying to help him out. And he's the one that brings him in. And
Yeah.
then, he does him dirty. And then it's jealousy.
Well, and Seth's big problem is he asks questions. He's not there for just he wants to know how it works because whenever he was the manager of his own casino. So I mean, it was in a house and everything. It wasn't like a full-fledged casino, but like he was managing that casino. I mean, that's what he did. And if you want to move up in the world, you got to ask those kind of questions like, how do you do this? And it all did kind of start whenever he saw that one guy just shredding papers and stuff like that. So I think that kind of made the curiosity start a little bit more. But I mean, I feel like he would have asked questions regardless.
Yeah.
It's just the type of person he is.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah, and he's smart. He wants to move up. He's like, okay, this is kind of like a stepping stone to get into the um you know other brokerage firms, but the more you kind of keep watching, the more you figure out that that is not the case, man. They're selling empty goods. It was crazy. Watching this younger and then watching The Wolf of Wall Street and then watching this again, I'm like, okay, penny stocks, it makes sense. I mean, these people were selling, he sold
Nothing.
what? Yeah, they were selling nothing, but I mean, $800, and then oh yeah, this is going up. This is going up, man. Like you just pumping these people up. Whatever happened to Harry Renard? Do you think?
He got his
What
money back.
you? That's
Well, no. Well, he doesn't get his
your
money
bright and
back.
shiny.
He doesn't get
That's
his
your bright
money
and
back.
shiny answer.
Well,
Get out of here.
hey, he doesn't get his money back. What I'm going to say is because he says he leaves it to the open market. Remember, he asked, Seth asked, what's Vin Diesel's name? I already forgot it.
Yeah, but dude, the FBI is coming in and seizing all that money. Nothing in there.
No, dude, no, dude. In this reality, not in real life. In real life, yeah, they all get caught. But in this reality, yeah, Chris. So he got the senior side off because what happens to Seth? He just leaves. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
so let's put it this way, because he says he gives his money. He could give him a chance to go back to the open market. So he's basically giving him his money back, like or some portion of his money, so he could win it back. It's gambling. But I do like that. I mean, I started laughing at Harry Renard when he goes, it went down 3%. I was like, 3%. Wait till you get one that goes down 40%. And gonna talk to me. Like, I was like, well, that's a feeling. That's one feeling that when he said that, I was like, oh, only 3. But I mean, that's the stock market. At then, it's not like now. I can say that because I have an app on my phone that shows me how I'm getting my ass kicked. Where back then, it's all like there's a middleman. There's someone you need to get in. That's why the times change, it's good. It was weird how it shows you that his wife left him, because of the decision, and those don't pitch the itch. It's like
See, that's why I picture Harry Renard with like him sitting at a desk with his head back and his suicide note on the table.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that reality. I mean, this is just kind of a bleak movie. Even the color choice is very dark and grim, and
yeah.
it's not a bright shiny film like The Big Short is.
I mean, I think this one has a little bit more of it. I feel like this is like both of these are thinker movies.
Yeah.
And you know what? I won't say like because he thinks he's lost the money, so he's probably let's say he offs himself, right? Because that's money, back money's for some people.
If you lose your family, I mean, what's even the point?
Yeah, I mean, you could get them. You can go make more money. That's the thing. You can make more money. You just gotta push yourself harder or diamond yourself. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is like there's ways he can do it. Like he can do it, but not in 2000. I don't know. But let's say that he didn't off himself right away, and that we don't see him after he gets them. After Seth gives him whatever he can give him back. So if it was $50K, let's say he gives him back $40K. You think he would be? That's enough to give back his wife? To be like, oh, $10,000 of our down payment.
No, dude, she's gone for other reasons.
But you understand why you can't.
You do. I mean, to give up $50,000 after you lose that money. I mean, there's other things at play. There, I do, man. That's not just a one-off. Like, oh no, I fucked up one time. No, you did it twice, and the second time was exponentially worse.
What do you mean? You did the two stock purchases?
Yeah, the first time
he only bought 100, right? The first time.
Yeah, the first time, and then he bought $50,000.
But you don't know you messed up. But you don't know you messed up. Oh no, he did. No,
yeah, because
he tells you it goes down because it's down because you get cheaper.
You better buy it exactly like any logical person would. But if there's nothing, and at that point he knows there's nothing in the business. The business is nothing.
They are watching The Wolf of Wall Street with Charlie Sheen or is it?
Oh, no, that's Wall Street. Just Wall Street.
I'm sorry,
I
I haven't seen The Wolf of Wall Street because of the I know what kind of genre of guys are gonna watch that, and I'm not trying to really like. I want to watch it.
You are depriving yourself, sir.
No, it's another version of these guys. I don't get excited watching like Scarface. I don't get excited watching those kind of movies. You think
it's not even that. It's not even living the vicariously. I think it's kind of what you're getting at. Is like, oh yeah, you kind of champion these people. Is that what you're kind of getting at? Like these people are just like, wow, look at what this guy did.
I want to be like them. I'm going to be like
the American dream, right? Yeah, and you do get a lot of that, but it's kind of like the whole reality sinks in, and you really get that with The Big Short.
Oh
The
yeah.
boiler room is, you know, the reality kind of sinks in, but you still are. It has a lot of stuff. You know, he doesn't testify. Like if you know, you could have been like Boiler Room 2 on the run. You know, where he testifies, and then Vin
He's gonna
Diesel's
go, goes after him.
he's in a muscle car. You know,
That's true,
trying.
right? Boiler
Yeah,
Room 2, and then Vin Diesel's like, "Hey, come on, you're part of my family."
yeah, exactly.
Um,
And Greg finds him,
you know
and
what? You know what? Let me tell you this real quick. Have you ever gotten approached by the Ponzi scheme people, the pyramid scheme people?
yeah, oh yeah, especially over Facebook, man. You have, oh hey, you know, we got this going. You know, what really sucks is whenever you see like a Ponzi scheme or a, you know, pyramid scheme and all that, and you try to let people know, and then they're just like, no, that's not what it is. That's the worst.
And yeah,
You
so
know?
so I actually had to when I was younger when I first moved to Austin. There were jobs on like the message boards that were like what do you call it? Make $10,000. We need hustlers or whatever. And then I started. You give them the information, and then they don't stop calling you. Hey, what's up, CJ? How's it going? And I was like, hey, remember you don't see anybody. These are just numbers you call, and then they give you information. That beginning scene with Jim Young when he goes in there, like I've been in those rooms before because when I first moved to Austin, I thought those were the jobs that were legit. They were on the internet. The internet doesn't lie. So you know, you go and you start seeing a common thing. You know, you start seeing like a common like all right, why are these guys talking the same? They're talking very scriptic. It's very script the way they talk. And I'm like they already have like program answers or whatever. And then they build you up with everything, and then at the last moment they're like, all right, so get started, we're getting $300. So when you send me that $300, I'm like, nah, it doesn't work like that. Because when my mom, she always showed me how the business works, and this isn't how it business. You get paid to go to work. You don't. So at that point, I had a guy that he kind of had me on the hook. I decided to. It basically happened. I had about 4 or 5 of these guys that were like trying to get a hold of me, and one of my buddies from Del Rio, he was like, you should do, because he liked the Boiler Room a lot, and like I remember just like movies like this. I don't know if it was this one, but like other movies about stock market, and he would be like, dude, you should go and try it. You'll make money. And I was like, nah, dude, it sounds kind of fake. I go, what do you mean? Well, you know what they do? He goes, what? I go, well, you go in his office, and it wasn't until I saw the scene where Ben Affleck and them are watching the Wall Street, and you
Mm-hmm.
see that it's just a couch and there's nothing in the house. That's all they have. It's just like a front, right? And
Yeah.
I've been in those places. I've been in something very similar like that. And I'm like, well, you guys don't have money. But then what they do is you see that guy walking right there. That's Bill. When he went, you go, Bill, man, that guy closed 4 deals last year. Now he made 32 million. That's why he walks around chill. You see that guy right there. And then it's you know what, you know what this is? This is all improv.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing is they're good improvers. These people, because they're bullshitters. They're full of shit. You see the way okay. So I even like the character, the Tom and Everett Scott character, Michael Brantley, the main guy in charge. Do you see what he's doing? Can you pick up on the lingo with what he's actually doing? He's saying that stock went down 3%. It's a stock they made up,
Yeah.
and it's a three. So they're all on the same page. That's why, like, as I started, like, I guess putting our improv skills to use in my brain and watching it, and then knowing about the stock market and getting the lingo, and then watching The Big Short 100 times, it was easy for me to follow the Boiler Room. But to see the way, like, even when I'm watching the scene right now where where Chris gets the doctor to sign up, like, it's just you can't follow it. There's no instant. It's like I get the paper and this is 3 days old, but it said this here is what's going on right now. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not instant. But these guys are just milking it. It's totally illegal. One of the things was I had the guy tell me because they would always talk about each other, and I had the guy tell me, "Well, if you're so happy about the money the other people make, how much do you make? What do you drive?" And he was like, he was like, "Oh, they don't ever question you like that." Well, I guess I started questioning him, and then he goes, well, "I drive a truck, brother, but don't you want a Benz?" I go, "Why drive a truck right now? I think I'm good." And he'd be like, "But you don't want?" I go, "Nah." And then it was like, I think what he was trying to get with me was like, I would be like a good salesman, and you could kind of mold me or something to a con artist. But I was like, nah, it's okay. I'd rather be a real artist. I'll just go somewhere else. But man, they were really trying. And I remember one time I got voicemails after voicemails, guys calling me like, "Hey, I need you," like, because I think what that was one guy, and his name was Paul. He's probably gonna remember me. He called me for about a month, and I kept going, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there." And I never did it. And then finally, he was like, "I thought you'd be a really cool guy to hang out with and get to know and make some money with." That was like the last message he left me, and I was like, "Nah, I just wanted to see how far you'd bring me into this Ponzi scheme, and you'll go all the way, and I'm not gonna give any money." Like
Yeah.
it's a and it's sad because it's a generational thing. This Ponzi scheme. it doesn't go away. It's going to come back in another form. Sometimes it's called Facebook. Sometimes it's called like, they got
Dude,
they got a lot
I
around them.
I remember I went to one of these like seminars for like Cutco knives and everything. Like, buy the knife set, and then you sell it.
You sell.
And then you make that money back, and then we'll give you more knives, and you just sell the, stuff like that. And dude, whenever I moved to Austin, it didn't even hit me until like a year later, but I definitely got whenever I came on down here.
A few times it happens. It's a city. You're not used to it.
Dude, so whenever I was applying to that car dealership, I went through like I don't know, a recruiter kind of, and he was like, "All right, you got to do this, this, and this, and it's $600 to like fast track this this course or something like that." It was some goofy shit. I ended up doing the course through the dealership anyway. Like I did the exact same stuff, like went through the same procedures.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had to pay $600. Like that was free. And like I said, it didn't even dawn on me because they were like, if you hit so many cars, you'll get your money back, in the first month. It was like 30 cars on the first month. And so that was like incentive for the, to sell everything. Definitely didn't get my $600 back, but
you learn. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Education does cost, but you can either pay it to a business like a college, or you pay it to the streets, one of the other ways, but you learn. And I mean, that story right there, I have a very similar one to that too.
Yep.
And then you keep sending money because you think like, okay, they're gonna help you out. Even like it's very intimidating, the internet nowadays. Like, you don't know who you're talking to. If you're talking, even if you finally get to talk to the person, are they being genuine with you? Are they your doubt? Like, I just feel like money is the main thing. I'm not money hungry, but I understand the power of wealth. So
what's crazy is like every so often on TikTok you'll see one of those videos like, if I get 1,000 likes, I can start up a new home, stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn, dude, that's a crazy way to get money.
I like those Vine videos that were like it was like a guy that looked he goes up to like a girl like, hey, what's up? You want to go date? And she's like, no. And he gets into a Ferrari, and then she's like, hey. Like,
yeah, dude, those are always hilarious
those
too.
are funny too, man. Let's look. I want to talk to you about the cast because I liked seeing Tom and Everett Scott outside of he was like older in this movie. And he'd been acting since he was a teenager, and he had a lot of roles in his 20s. He's actually in one of my favorite movies, Dead Man on Campus. Have you ever seen Dead Man on Campus?
Is that the one with
Zach Morris, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
dude, I love that movie.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know if I've seen it. No.
Oh man, that's a good one to watch. It's hilarious.
Trying to see. When was Dead Man on Campus?
96. I want to say 97, maybe. I have it on my phone. It's one of those I purchased. I love that movie. It's just because it's one of those college movies. One thing I prepared myself when I was younger. I was like, I need to go to college to get the experience.
Oh, I'm looking at Nicky Cat. Never mind.
Let's see. It is on Dead Man on Campus. Is 98. Sorry, I was off.
Yeah, dude. He's normally playing like that quirky dude.
So this one, he's because he's so much in charge that he can't really, because he's spending the next all his job is he's the guy in charge, but really he just sets the tone of the story for everybody. But his job is to whenever they get hot, they move. That's what he says. Michael moves them around. So his job is really just to find a different location, like another bullshit location that they can like hide under. What do you call it? So when you look at the background, you actually see my background for the movie poster. Here you go, Papa. There, let me see one. Sorry, a little break. But when you actually see the movie poster, no, you're not. We'll get some of that later. So a little candied out. So you see the star to the left and that's kind of cool. Like Giovanni Ribisi is like right here, and he's just his you get the personalities from the characters. Vin Diesel's in the front, so you got the action star. You got the Tom and Everett guy, Scott character. Michael, he's in charge. Papa, you got the pink. And then the Richie, played by Scott Kahn, he's right there, kind of like the cocky guy in the front. And then you have Greg in the very back right there, played by Nicky Cat. And then you have Jamie Kennedy, the comedian, in this.
dude. Yeah, you almost forget he's in it too.
Dude, he
You
does.
know,
He's. I don't know how he got the role for this. I don't know how because he's a
repeat offender.
we got a couple repeat.
Yeah,
This
two
one,
people from Scary Movie. Well, one from Scream and the other from Scary Movie. Bobby from Scary Movie was the yeah, was one of the guys.
well, the casino guys.
Was casino guys. Yeah.
I think you're forgetting we have another repeat offender in here. Did you pick up who it is? There's a third.
Possibly. Tell me, and maybe I'll know.
How about you guess, and I'll tell you if you've read it wrong.
Let me see here. Let me just look at. Let's see, Jamie Kennedy.
Oh no, yeah, no. In the is a repeat offender, but you I don't think you pick him up. It's really hard to pick him up. He's also in Littering and.
Oh
Littering.
yeah, the brother. I did catch that, but
No,
I
yeah,
forgot to
dude.
bring him up. Yeah.
Let's give some love, man. I don't even remember his name, but I should have had it ready.
Here, no, that's not him.
Yeah, I know. I can't find him either.
No, I had to look it up last night. So last name is
Andre
Davis.
Vipolis. Andre Ripolis?
Let's see.
Ripolis?
Vipolis. Yeah,
Vipolis.
we'll say Andre Vipolis. That's my
Yeah.
guess.
That's where he's at. He's a repeat
Yes,
offender on here.
Super Troopers. Yep.
I saw him and I was like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, dude, he looks. I was like, I've seen him in something before. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, and then I was like, oh, repeat offender.
So he did this one, then he got Super Troopers. That's badass. Like I think. Wait, let me see. Make sure I don't want to say this wrong because it seems like it did. He was in. Let's see. 2000, oh, he didn't. He stopped acting in 2005.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe we can bring him back.
Let's bring him back. Yeah, he did. Boiler Room, Chaos Factor, and Super Troopers all back to back.
Dang.
There you go.
He was on a roll.
He was out there. He got there. Our little co-host, our mini co-host is here now, so we're gonna have a little pauses here and there. When we shoot during the day, we get a little interruptions here and there. But yeah, dude, he was in it. I was like repeat, and then Jamie Kennedy from Scream. We know he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
You know, and he's actually he had a documentary come out called Heckler. Did you ever see that one?
No.
It's a really good documentary. It's about being a stand-up comic and the crap you have to go through for being a comic, and it kind of showed like the non-rock star lifestyle of the comic opposed to the rock star kind of. It's a really good documentary. I would recommend watching it. I haven't seen it. I saw it when it came out, and I want to watch it. I'd watch it. Want to watch it again. Okay, you could have that one. Let's see. No, I was just looking at the cast, and they really did a good job of the casting this movie. It's like I don't know if these people were already like talked about in Hollywood or whatnot, but these cats were already going there. Even the dad, played by Ron Rifkin.
Yeah.
Does a great job. What is he known? I think is he for Law and Order or something like that. What is he on?
It's something. It's some kind of TV show. Let me look it up.
Alias. Is that
Yeah, that's
dun, dun,
one of
dun,
Alias.
dun.
I feel
Law
like
and Order.
there's
They're the
another one.
special victims. He was from 2011, 2014. You want
Let's
this?
see here.
All right,
How many?
let me-
Oh, he had six episodes. Okay, yeah.
Yes, it's a couple.
Oh, Brothers and Sisters. That's where I know him from.
What is Brothers and Sisters?
It was a TV show. Started in 2006. It was about like these kids in California. They weren't kids. They were like in their 30s, 40s, but they find out like they have a half sister, and their dad was cheating on their mom and all this other stuff after he dies. It was it was one of those TV dramas.
You know what? I remember all the advertising, but I don't think I ever saw this.
Yeah, it had like Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
So it had Callista Flockhart, Rachel Griffiths. Yeah, it had a lot of. Sally Field was in it.
Oh, dude! I just saw something on Roku TV. I haven't clicked it yet, but it shows like 1978 TV show called The Flying Nun, starring Sally Field. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, I have.
I've never heard of
Dude.
that.
Rob Lowe was even in this show. I forgot about that.
What show? The Brothers and Sisters.
Brothers and Sisters. Yeah, there was
Rob
I mean,
Lowe. He would be a repeat offender.
yeah. There's a couple of them. It was a good show for the first couple of years.
What do you think about Vin Diesel's acting in this one?
I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. He wasn't that like rugged, like he wasn't doing his usual Vin Diesel because he wasn't Vin Diesel at that point.
Did-
this was before Fast and the Furious and all that other typecast. I mean, I can't even think of a movie that he's done besides Chronicles of Riddick that wasn't Fast and Furious.
Dude, did you know he's a twin?
No,
Yeah, you know, on Facebook they have like those little videos that come out, and you kind of get the story about some people. He's a twin,
I had
and
no clue.
yeah, they were trying to be like he was like Vin Diesel and his brother. I gotta remember. Sorry, I gotta maybe find his name, but they were the video I saw. You know, take it for whatever. That he
Is it Ken Diesel?
Ken Diesel. That sounds kind of similar. He was let's see,
Let's see here.
but he was they were like break dancers and stuff, man. I guess that's why he's all ripped. I guess
Okay, let's see.
you already had Shake Cake.
His real name is Mark Sinclair.
That's a nice name too.
Yeah, but Vin Diesel is gonna be. Let's see here.
Yeah, I might get half a bite. You're not getting the whole thing. Here, go there. There you go. Be careful, you're on the wire. All right, you're on the wire.
Interesting.
All right,
sorry,
sorry.
I'm just reading. I'm
No,
reading.
sorry.
about-
I'm over here babysitting. Sorry. He was getting up in the wires. No, yeah. Let's see. Vinny Diesel. Where's he from?
I'm looking. Let's see here. I'm just looking on Wikipedia right now. See if I can't find anything.
I'm just gonna put in the search. Let's see. Vin Diesel twin. He was born Mark Sinclair. His twin brother Paul. Oh,
Oh,
they don't really look similar.
Paul Sinclair.
I guess so. Yeah. He's got his twin
Oh,
brother.
maybe they're fraternal.
Twin brother named Paul. The two were raised by their mother, Delora, and their stepfather in California, in Irving, California. Yeah. So he's a California guy. So he was kind of around Hollywood like stuff. I mean, it's gotta be kind of tempting to just if you're from that area, if you just kind of go check it out. The movies you want to be in them, they're like right there.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. You're right. They don't look anything alike. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then like man, Greg is kind of Greg and Richie are big pricks in this movie, but you really get the sense of like all the dynamics of each character, because even then I mean, Scott Conn, when he goes off, he doesn't go off Joe Pesci-ish like in Goodfellas or Casino. It's like you get the sense that he's kind of like a smaller guy, but you don't get the
He's
sense.
like his dad in The Godfather.
Oh, dude, I love that role of his, man. That's he's Sonny.
And they were even making fun of that too. Like, oh, we got Corleone over here.
Oh, they did throw a thing in there, right? Yeah, no, I love his role. James Caan, his character as Sonny Corleone. God, dude, he does a great job, man. Like it's insane. It's like that was the first role I saw when I was a kid where I was like, he's scary, like, but I like it.
Yeah.
No, but
No,
Sorry.
but Boiler Room Man, it's a solid movie. Vin Diesel acting, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that he can act. I mean, he got into that role of like the muscle man, and you see it with The Rock too, just a little bit. He had the Scorpion King to start off, and then you saw him like the Tooth Fairy and all this other stuff, and then now he's in the Fast and Furious. He got his own movie in Fast and Furious franchise, like him
Shaw,
and
yeah,
Hobbs and Shaw. I mean, which, oh man, I don't like. It was not a movie that I really enjoyed, to be quite honest with you. It was
too much action or something.
Yeah, I'd have to, honestly, I'd have to watch it again because I was just like,
I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, how do you feel about Vin Diesel having 9 Fast and Furious movies? I mean, he didn't come out in 3. I think it's the only one, right?
he came out at the very end.
At the very end, yeah.
It was 2. It was the 2 that he was a part of. Yeah, so I'm starting to lose me there too. I think it was probably after 6 or 7. You're just like, okay, this is getting a little bit too much, dude. And I mean, we're about to bring him up anyway, but Steve Carell in The Office had a little bit while he was working at a telephone like a call center, excuse me. And he said, Die Hard 1, it's believable. You have a guy walking on glass, it hurts him, you know, it's real. And you have that in Die Hard 2 and Die Hard 3. But by the time you get to Die Hard 4, he's hanging off of a jet, and all this other stuff. And that's kind of how I feel about the Fast and the Furious. Like they have to one up themselves in each movie, right? And so it's getting just a little bit more ridiculous in each one. Like in the fifth one, they're stealing gas, and they have a whole bunch of cool stuff going on. And it's believable. Like the fifth one's believable. Sixth one, believable. Seventh one, you're losing me. Eighth one, what's going on? We'll see what happens with the ninth film. But honestly, they should have stopped after Paul Walker. In my opinion. I think that would have been a good stopping point. But I mean, it's like you said, what do I think about Vin Diesel having 9 Fast and Furious movies? And that's exactly what it's become, is Vin Diesel wants those to happen. He wants to make 10 of them, He wants this big franchise, which, I mean, more power to him, man. But it just, for me, it's steadily just kind of losing, not my interest, because, I mean, I'm already invested, dude. I'm already invested.
Yeah, dude. 1 second, man. He opened the refrigerator. I gotta shut it. Sorry, one second.
Go for it. No. Take your time. No, today, like I said, we have The Boiler Room. This is a great movie. This was, like I said, if you've seen Wolf of Wall Street or anything like that, and you were interested in that story, this is a movie that you can go back and take a look at and say, yeah, no, this was a solid movie and a solid base.
Sorry about that.
What
sorry,
I was holding down the fort for you.
Hold on the fort, because it's kind of like Tom Cruise with Mission Impossible. I love those movies. Like I look forward to watching those in the theater, and I feel like there's at one point you see executive producer Tom Cruise, so he's making his own movies.
Yeah,
and I love that. Do you think with the Fast and the Furious, do you think there's a part where they're jumping the shark like in the movies? I think now that in the like sitcoms, do you think there's like a way pick it up, because movies are being made so fast now that they're jumping the shark in a sense?
So yes and no. I mean, like I said, man, I think it's just trying to not repeat the same story and progress the story. And like, I think in this next one, you have John Cena as Vin Diesel's brother. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's where you're going with it. That's cool, man. Like you bring in these wrestlers that are turning to actors. John Cena. He's been on SNL. He's killed it before.
No, he's done good. I like them in Blockers.
He can act. Dude. So I mean, he's got chops, and this is kind of a way to propel his career, and I'm all about that. And I think that may be one of Vin Diesel's like his thoughts, because I mean he had The Rock come in, and it was a role that The Rock was kind of typecast for. He's like, all right, everybody, like he had that I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass. I'm all out of bubble gum kind of feel, like that was his kind of MO in that movie. But yeah, man.
I like seeing him have life in this movie. He has life. He's like, does it sell? Oh, I can't do that right now. All I can do is 2,000 right now. It's like, why did you limit him? Like, I love the mentorship he does.
Yeah.
Because he's not his guy, but he's like, I love that. I used to love that when I used to work. When I used to have to go to a job that I was like, I had no experience in or trying to figure it out. And then like someone would be like, hey, yo, come here. I see your, let me show you. And then be like, just those little tweaks. I took them in, and I was like, okay. Where I feel like, it's always about feelings, but I'm like, now with the times are changing, a lot of constructive criticism is taken as like just like put down or negativity.
Yeah.
Where if you just listen to what the person is saying and try to grab the meat. Now there are a lot of people that are just nowadays putting people down, or I'm better than you, I know more than you, you don't know enough. What I'm like, it doesn't matter. We're at a common goal to make money or get a product sold or push food or whatever. Like there's sell something. But like I did like the fact that Chris was like very, very like open to Seth. Like it's at some point where Chris wishes that Seth was under him. Like he really wished it. And then when Greg does him dirty with the 40th person, but That's what I loved about this movie, because Seth, it shows you how he does it to the people, and then he turns it around and does it to his employer, to himself, to the people, to his people. And I was like, oh, you could bullshit the bullshitter. That's what he's doing.
Dude, and I think with Seth's character too is like he's a likable guy. So if you have that even in that kind of work environment, if you have somebody that fits in, if you have somebody that is can put up with the environment, if you see potential in somebody, you're gonna be like beefing them up. All right, this is what you need to do. Here's how you can be better. Because these are people that can help you be more. If you have a good salesman, that's competition for you. Like, okay, if I can beat you, then I'm doing even better. Yeah, if you come in, you have. I mean, it's almost like he has raw potential.
Yeah,
like,
no, he could see it, and he's like I like that. Then I love it when someone, and this I didn't get till I got older and I matured. When someone looks at you and they see your potential that you can't see, but they're like, you got to catch up to me. And once you're at my level, we can see eye to eye. Like it's taken like forever to like understand that you have to work to a certain standard, and then at that point the standard will pick you up, or somebody can see you, but you have to know at least the minimum or the basics of certain things, Yeah. And I feel like I like that some people are like, come on man, get this, the quicker you get here the more you can be at my level and we can get to work, but it's like asking somebody to start a new podcast with me that's never done a podcast, and they're trying to learn all the ropes. I'd be like, I'm just gonna stick with Ben because I already got something going. Like it'd be really like. But if somebody would come in and be like, hey, they do podcasts too, we'll bring them in with me and Ben, because we all have the same like level, or maybe they have more, or maybe they're right a little bit under. But it's like, all right, they put the time in, and you get that you see that with I guess over time and experience. A lot of this, even the secretary, the whole thing there kind of brings down the problem. Abby, she says it like I go, I bet you say paying her a lot of money. She's like, yeah, I'm a secretary, I make $80,000 a year. That's like a paralegal working for a high-end law firm. The only problem is this isn't a law firm. This is somebody that says they're a law firm kind of thing,
Yeah.
Stock market and whatnot. I love all the way everything works out in this movie. I like the way it's told too, because this is one we're about to jump into The Big Short, and the way they tell The Big Short, the way it's edited, the story told, it's beautifully made. It can be very confusing if you just kind of watch it in bits, but if you watch the whole thing, sit down, you like it. Boiler Room has it has some Fight Clubs feel to it. That I was like, oh wow. I think what Fight Club's 99 or 2000.
Yeah, I think it was 99. But yeah, it had like there was one scene, man, where it like. Oh, maybe I think it was actually in The Big Short, where it had like rap music, and then it had like old timey like Vegas music. It was The Big Short that did that. But I did like you had like scratching the record at the beginning of Boiler Room and shit like that. Like you kind of knew what you were getting into. I
didn't get what he said in the beginning till later when he said, I did the white boy version of selling crack. I sold stocks. Yeah. And then I was like, whoa, I love that you taught me that. You got to read the subtitles, because I thought I heard that, but I read it. I was like, no, that's what he said.
And at the end, he was like, I was slinging rock.
Dude, yeah. It's. I mean, if you want to learn how have people skills, just kind of follow Seth in this movie, how he talks and makes personable. It's all BS. It's all BS.
I like his little cell call that he gets about the newspaper. It's like, no, I already have the Times, and they just click like.
But he builds that guy up. Like at that point, and that's what you were saying. You want someone to be. Like, he's bored.
Was he reading the newspaper while he was doing that?
Mm-hmm. He got that good. He's that good at his job that he could bullshitting, that he could bullshit and read the paper. And
it's just funny because I didn't even catch on to that. It's like he was already reading the Times, and this guy was pitching him that. Yeah,
and he's eating cereal. He's already got the Times. No, but even like that, he made that guy get better. I was thinking, I was like, does he recruit this guy on the phone, or
that's what I was thinking
too, and he didn't do it. But I mean, even I've done that before. I like when my vehicle with the Jeep the other day, a couple in January, when I had to talk to all these representatives. I talked to one of the last conversations I had was with this guy. He was like, I go, I'm 36. He goes, oh, I'm 56 or 46. And I'll tell you, so we just started talking. And then I looked at the time. It was like 10 minutes in, because by the time like hold and all that got to him. And then I looked at the time again. It was like 53 minutes in. I was like, I've been talking to this guy for 43 minutes and not Jeep related stuff. It was like, and then he goes, oh, you know what, man? I don't know if I talked about it in this podcast or the other one, but he goes, He goes, I gotta, we've been kind of shooting the breeze. I gotta actually work. I'm sorry that I did, did I find everything? And he goes, you know what? So those people monitoring this call, this is a good employee. I like this guy. You better give him a raise or monitor. Like he does a great job. He's a great customer service. I want to say this is my review. Cliff is a good guy. Make sure he comes in, whatever his name was. I was like, make sure you take. And he goes, man, I appreciate that. I go, yeah, I know you're hearing this right now, monitor. I came in here upset with you guys, and this guy was able to talk to me and make me have a good experience. So I wasn't, if I was one of those people that bash people online, this would I would have done it. But he saved you. So that's what I was saying on the phone. But I don't know if someone's hearing it. Well, someone's always listening. But
that's obvious in the in Boiler Room.
Mm-hmm.
His dad's a federal judge, and they, they get him, dude. I'm watching The Big Short, and just how funny some of the scenes are, dude. Just taking liberties. We'll get to it, man. But just like they go into the ratings deal, and that lady has like the glasses on because she can't see.
Yeah,
like she's literally been blind to this thing the whole time. You have, yeah.
I'll tell you this: the one thing I liked about the Boiler Room, and we'll maybe move on from here, was the fact that the FBI story never intruded with the real story. No. Like it's there. It's kind of like Scanner Darkly in a way,
Well, it's kind of like, well, I guess with hackers, it's like right in your face.
Yeah, right in your face. Like they're trying.
Yeah.
What's up, bud?
Yeah, dude. You're right. It absolutely didn't interfere.
And then the fact that Abby is a agent, FBI agent, or no?
No. She was just
like an informant.
Yeah, Well, they caught her, because I can't remember how they got her, but they did it in the movie. I know they took her away.
So it kind of caught me that because she was in a hard spot because it's her mom she's taking care of and her daughter. And
did she have a daughter? I thought it was just her mom.
I don't know. I guess it was her mom. I thought her daughter was. No, there you go. Mm-hmm. Sorry, my son's trying to play with the electrical outlet here, and I'm like, no, it lights up, but it's not a toy.
As long as he doesn't have a fork,
No, he didn't have a fork. It's a spork, so we're make sure that's
good.
Now you know what? Do they sell metal sporks? I think that should be an invention that we should need because.
No, I don't think they do.
They're all plastic.
Plastic.
I can't rewash them. You can't. They don't make it in the cycle. Speaking about being cheap, let's talk about The Big Short.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of wonder why they don't have a metal spork now.
You heard it first. Get your side-by-side metal sporks here. Side-by-side sporks.
Side-by-side sporks.
Come with CJ.
It's like sporking on the side.
CJ's big round head and Ben's beard sticks out like this. So it's a spoon and you're the fork.
Right there, buddy.
It looks nice. I gotta say, everyone, when you see Ben's beard, you gotta give him a high five. I think it looks nice. Also, I can't grow a beard like that. I could grow a 5 o'clock shadow while I'm shaving, but I can't grow no beard.
Look, you can't. There, you can see it all in its glory right now. Because, going down here, it kind of blends in with the shirt. You can appreciate how much of it is actually cover my face.
And okay, so The Big Short, man. I think we covered everybody pretty much in Boiler Room. If we missed anybody, sorry, get back to you. But The Big Short, John Abrahams is Jeff. That's Bobby from Scary Movie. He's so close. Did you catch? Oh, okay, we'll get at the end. We'll go into straight. Let's go to The Big Short. The Big Short. What'd you think, man?
Dude, like you said, the way the story is told is fantastic because whenever it says biography on the IMDb, like you said, I think that's pretty accurate because they're like, all right, this didn't happen like this. They break the fourth wall to kind of explain and to help the audience along. It's one of those where, in some movies, if you have like little helpful hints on the screen, if you don't keep that up periodically throughout the movie, it kind of gets a little irritating. But on this one, they do it enough, but not too much they just kind of sprinkle it in.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. They describe it. They put, it's almost like they're highlighting stuff for you. Like, pay attention to this.
Yes,
like if you hear this, this is where you need to pay attention to. Yeah, dude, it's just, the way it's put together is fantastic. It has an all-star cast. I mean, Steve Carell in this movie is just, he's great, dude. I mean, yeah, you can't beat it.
Talk about stealing the show, man. His portrayal as Mark Baum And
Yeah.
my research and what I know about that movie, like he got pretty close to being the real Mark Baum. Like he got like that's him. And I mean, Steve Carell by far is like one of my favorite actors. Just following his career and like his career boomed right when I was like out of college, the first time I started, but like when I was younger, and then like kind of followed like a lot of his movies and you know, man, I don't think he's underrated by now, but I feel like there was a part there where people underrated him.
Yeah.
And he was really, really good. He's always been really good. Surprisingly, I love all the characters, but surprisingly, the Ryan Gosling character as Jared Vennett, he left me a impression. Like he's the kind of storyteller, but you kind of have these three stories that intertwine. Um, so they took something as boring as economics and they made it interesting. My big question that's been for a minute is why the hell is this movie rated R?
Oh, it's the nudity. It's the
The nudity there is none.
yeah. Well, in the strip club there is.
No, but their nipples are covered. They're pasty. So
No,
it's,
they're not.
there they are.
No, they're not.
Well, the version. Oh God! Don't tell me the version I got. They're covered. They're covered in the one I got.
No, whenever he's talking to that stripper one on one.
Oh, but that's not enough to make it rated R, is it?
No, God no. There's
I thought you were gonna say the
worse.
Margot Robbie in in the shower
No,
again.
no, it's going to be the cursing as well. But I imagine what you're kind of getting at is that it is a subject that could get people in trouble, so you want to mark it up at the highest rating. They probably did get a rated like an R rating without any of that extra shit, and then they were just like, you know what, we're just going to go all out with it. You know, we're going to put as many fucks in here as we want or as little, and I mean, I don't really find it to be that much of a derogatory movie.
It's like it's witty. Like if anything,
Yeah,
man, dude. Since I have
fast
seen
talkers, dude. All of them, fast talkers. I mean,
Sit-
just to Brad Pitt was about the only one that wasn't. You know,
you know, even
Christian
when
Bale. You know,
Dude, Christian, I was gonna say the things I picked up this for side by side podcast. The little subtleties I picked up were all in the acting.
yeah,
They like it's like God, like you forget how well of an actor. Not you don't forget. It's that you just know that Christian Bale makes you think that that's the person. Like Michael Berman, like you think it's him, and oh sorry, Michael Burry. I said Berman. Michael Burry, you think it's him. Michael Berryman is the actor from Hills Have Eyes. But you have him, and you think that's him. Steve Carell plays, you know, Mark Baum good, like very well. Ryan Gosling is Jared. They have like their own little personalities, but they all stick out. Nothing repeats. Nothing is nothing really sticks out as like a real crazy performance. It's just a very fluid sort of story. The like you said, the edits and the cuts, everything comes out nicely. It's literally about the stock market crash and what behind the scenes. I mean, the beginning of the movie says based on true story, and then the Mark Twain quote that says, "It's not what you don't know that gets you in trouble; it's what you know for certain that is." You know, it's like,
that,
yeah, you know, it's like
that ain't so.
it ain't so. Yeah,
It's some backward ass shit. I'll tell you that. Sorry about the cursing. I know you're trying to, but man alive, it got me. I was like, what the hell does that mean? You know. And there were other quotes throughout the movie too. It was like it was almost broken up into chapters, and that's how you knew a new chapter was about to start. All right, we're about to start seeing the the effects, and this is going to be the start of it. All right, this is the end. This is the aftermath kind of thing.
the
The,
also
the
keep going?
one the quote that got me was truth is like poetry, and nobody fucking likes poetry. Something of that.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of that,
yeah,
some
yeah.
of like lines.
I
And
like what's up?
it said, and then it said overheard in a Washington D.C. bar. You know,
Dude,
So-
I like also the Kathy's pregnancy is in the timeline too. If you add that every time she comes out, you're like, oh yeah, I heard, congratulations! I heard you're expecting. No, we're expecting to be expecting. That's she's like you start out. She's planning to get pregnant, then you see her pregnant, and then you hear she's had the child. So it's had like all this time in between. There's like it kind of keeps you in the time frame to let you know that time has been passing. These are stories that are going on at the same time, but they're going different. I mean, it's an honest movie. They break the fourth wall a lot.
yeah. And you know, one thing that I think was pretty interesting that you normally have in these movies, or at least as an aspect of it, is the family. You don't see that much of a family of these guys.
you're
You know,
right.
aside from Steve Carell's character with Marissa Tomei as his wife, like I don't even think you see Christian Bale's wife or Brad Pitt's wife or anything like that,
You
which
hear about
is
him?
yeah, and it almost it kind of helps you kind of dehumanize them because these are people that like, and I feel like that's what the story is trying to kind of do with the whole Brad Pitt
Yeah.
aspect of it is like bring some just to bring some levity to it, just to understand like, hey, this isn't right what we're doing. We aren't supposed to be profiting off of this. We're betting against ourselves essentially, and you're happy about it. Like that really kind of brings you back to reality. And that's kind of what Wolf of Wall Street doesn't do so much. You know, it keeps on going. Like it wants to break the roof where this one brings you back. And Adam McKay is really good about that too. Um, the other guys, that was another movie that he directed,
Oh,
which
cool.
was talking about Ponzi schemes, and it had, it was I think that movie was like 2010, and it was giving you like, okay, during the bailout, this is in credits. Like he was telling you, Goldman Sachs got like $51 million for a blank or for a parachute fund for their CEO, and all this other shit, and just like telling you all this stuff um, that it's almost like the financial world doesn't want you to know, or the
Yeah.
big banks don't want you to know anything like that. I'm at a part here in The Big Short where it was kind of getting back to what I was talking about earlier, where the one of the guys from Brownfield funds or Brownfield, the
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
guys, yeah, that stumble across it. He's talking
Charlie.
to, yeah, Charlie and Jamie,
Yeah.
where Jamie is going and talking to his brother's ex-girlfriend that works at the SEC,
Yeah.
and she's just kind of like, um, gosh,
It's Karen. Karen
she's
Gilliam. It's
yeah,
Nebula.
dude, and but
Ah,
she's
she's so
like, I'm trying
beautiful.
to think of a better word, but she's just like kind of slutty,
Well,
you know.
she's
But
following the money. She's following the
exactly,
money.
dude. But like that's kind of like she's playing a lot of characters, she's that, oh hey, how's it going, like she's the SEC worker, she's in bed with these people literally, you know
And did you see it
and
when she's leaving? Like goes with this guy to the other
yeah,
guy.
and then the
But
other
I
guy
mean,
and stuff like that, and then like that's just making her seem like that, but that's like the entire organization, you know what I'm saying, like that's she's just like a small little role that is for a bigger group of people.
yeah,
She I just thought that was very interesting, was where you can have like these little metaphors, and you know it's almost like they're personifying the SEC, like I said, they're in bed with these people, stuff like that. I guess that's what I'm getting at, is they're literally making people, the way they act is how the organization acts towards, like that lady that I was mentioning earlier. She was blind to everything. Well, I have a boss. So you're saying that you can do illegal stuff just because you have a boss, and she was turning to her, she was giving her blind eye, she was giving a
literally,
blind
yeah,
eye, literally. And so that, and it's the rating systems are turning to blind, like that's a metaphor, personifies what they're really doing. Like it's just subtle stuff like that that really really makes this movie so good. And plus you have Margot Robbie in a hot tub, explaining stuff to you.
fudge
And
job.
those little breaks do really, kind of help too. And it's, you know, as you have Margot Robbie, and then by the end of it, you're getting Selena Gomez with this guy who's a PhD. They're
Yeah.
kind of mixing, and it's like, okay, we're gonna start taking this seriously,
Did
kind of
you?
thing. But
Oh,
still
sorry.
introducing pop culture, dude. Like he's he's almost like making fun of you, but not, like it's kind of crazy. Like
I
I
mean, Anthony
really,
Bourdain's part is in there too. You know.
yeah, man. And like breaking it down to where he's simplifying it so much. It's like, oh, okay. Like you have that one person in the movie that goes like, oh, The Big Short. I wonder what that's about. And then, and then comes like, I understand some of that, that's
That's a
kind
good
of,
one, dude.
yeah, it's like, that's what this movie is made for. And Adam McKay is, I think, the perfect director for it, because it's smart, it's sophisticated, but it gets the points across. It gets what you need to know across. It highlights it for you. It's like big bold letters, like this is what you need to do. This is what you need to take a look at. This is where you need to be cautious.
Yeah.
Um,
I,
and Yeah, if he made movies about every part of life, I would probably watch it.
Education. I wonder if he made educational videos because it kind of does that.
Yeah, dude, like I said, even in the other guys, like he's putting all this stuff in there. Like like in the other guys he was subtly doing it, and this one he's like in your face, like this is what happened, man. You need to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like it a lot.
Dude, so what did you think about the whole explanation when Jared Bennett tells the crew about the AAA Bs and the A's? Did you
Oh,
understand that
being
part?
like a Jenga
Yeah, did
thing.
you get?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like I said, it was easy to digest the way they were explaining it. Um, you have the B's that are, so I'm assuming you have like B's, double B's, triple B's, A's, double A's, triple A's. At least that's the way it looked on the Jenga
Yeah,
deal. And so the B's have, a terrible credit score. They what like I don't know if it was like no income or what, like, but
yeah,
apparently,
550 or under FICO scores and all that
yeah,
stuff.
and like they were just signing stuff off. They weren't looking into anything. They were just like they were signing off um, the mortgages and all the bonds and everything because you had the triple A's mixed in with them, and they would. It was almost like they were not cooking the books, but like working the numbers in their favor to make sure that they were
It's
legal, but it was they knew there was nothing there. It was essentially what they were doing in Boiler Room,
yeah.
you know. They were backing stuff that they knew wasn't there, and yeah,
But
it was just
with Boiler Room, I
crazy.
wonder why is it always $300? Is that an amount that you can get if you get like 10 people? That's $3,000 is not for you, but is that an amount that people can't sue about? Because it's always like it has to be $300. Because even when they go back to Boiler Room, when Seth gets up and Jim tells him he has to pay the dues, he pays them right away. Like he pays them cash in hand. Like, hey, I already paid you. Like to me, I'm like, wonder why it's always 300. Why that's the number? But that's what I was saying about the jingle blocks. I saw that. I mean, I focused on that for a long time, and it wasn't until I started illustrating more of the idea that I realized, oh, that's what they're doing. And like what you're mentioning with the words and everything popping up, it helps you out. Even like the Anthony Bourdain breakdown. Like I worked at the restaurant for so long, that totally
Yep.
makes sense to me. And I was like, oh, that's why they do that. And you pick up the economy as you live in the economy, as you do stuff in the economy, you spend money and you learn, and that's how you can learn to buy things and know what to project and stuff. It's the stock market's gambling. That's all it is. It's
Yeah,
BS gambling. It's legal gambling in a way. They have like basically what Michael Berry does. He his story is and it's all kind of crazy how it trickles off him. He's like the first one, and he read all those. He just went in there and said, "Is this person making their payment? No. Is this how delinquent are they?" And all he did was read it, and he realized, oh, all this is going to collapse eventually. And he placed a bet against them when he tells the I forget, was it Goldman Sachs when he's talking to them, or and he says, I just want to make sure in the event you'll be able to pay me back. And they said, you're betting against the housing market, and you're going to wonder if we can pay you back. Like
yeah,
if you can, yeah, he's like, they're like, if you can pay you, you can't pay us. But he's like, they pay a premium. So that's how they keep the swap going. And the swap is like a bet. I bet you in 2 years that the market is going to crash, and when it does, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get all this money that I invested. But till then, to make serious, I'm gonna be paying you a monthly amount, so you know that I'm serious. And then all that money comes right back to them. But it's an insane amount that he goes up. And man, Michael Berry, the way his I forgot what's his, I don't even know, the mentor or his, was it Bernard or no, who is he? Well, there's this guy, but the way the mentor he plays them, the way he tells them like give me back my money. Oh, there's that guy. I forgot about that guy. That little guy. Like, what's up with that guy? That scene. You gotta explain to me that scene.
what do you got?
It's okay. So I gotta Michael Berry's boss, the older dude.
I don't think that's his. I think that's an investor.
As an investor, or
Yeah,
whoever the guy he calls to tell them.
Lawrence, right?
Lawrence. Yes,
Yeah,
there you go, Lawrence. It's okay. So when Lawrence goes and approaches Michael, and he brings that guy there, is that like a hype man that the swaps will default? The
I
swaps will
think
default.
I think that maybe like his lawyer or something like that, or his like another. I don't know, maybe like his personal finance person or something. Maybe he was like that because I can't remember who he worked for, but I'm pretty sure because at the end he was like, "I deposited the 489 million in your account," so that means that he only invested $1 million,
Yeah.
but he is steadily losing that money because let's see, I guess maybe at that point he only had $1 million left in the account or something because he said it was 489 million or 489 plus was what he got out at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means that Lawrence guy only had $1 million invested.
God, it's so crazy, right? Like, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
lot of money, but
But
it's like in
see,
their world,
was he losing money? Was like he having to pay money
yeah,
to
that's what the premium is. So what it
so
is,
but was Lawrence losing that money
yes,
monthly?
yes, because it's all the way I'm assuming. Remember, we don't know anything about stock market. What I'm assuming for this movie is, I think, yeah, he did. You take all the collective money, the investors,
Hmm.
and they're putting money towards the swaps. But the swaps can only exist if you put money into them. So he's taking the liquidation of the money, the assets they already made, and he's putting it inside there. So they're not profiting anything really until the short, and the short's a bubble, and that's why you start seeing like what I love that scene where Mark and Porter, they're in Florida looking at those houses for sale, and that guy's, you want to come inside? He's watering his grass like all lame, like, you want to come inside? Like,
Yeah.
he's all stupid looking. I mean, those to that for that to happen to you, it makes it seem like maybe you're trying to live well without you, well, not within your means, or I don't know. Just to
Yeah.
me, it seems like the way, I don't know. It's just that scene right there. He's like, "There's a bubble. It's gonna crash. Buy your shares. Buy your shares." And the whole time, Jared
That's just a
Bennett,
gully. It's just a gully.
like the whole thing, Jared's keeping him on track. Like, and it's insane that Jared doesn't use any money of his own, and the fact that
And he
it's
still gets a 400 or
47,
48 million.
yeah. And what do you call it? The fact that he doesn't, he has to keep marking them in the loop to keep paying his premiums, because they're paying him his side of the money, and then that's why he says, you're gonna get the sprinkles, I'm gonna get the sprinkles and the cherry, but I'm gonna come and gouge your eyes out. Like, he's like, yeah, but you're gonna make a lot of money. You're not gonna care because you're gonna get the sundae, baby. You're gonna get the banana, the ice cream, the chocolate.
And that, I got to give it to him, man. Like, he's a great salesman. I mean, he sold it. He really did. I mean, he sold it to him with the Jenga, like everything like that. I mean, and Mark he has a nose for bullshit, and Steve Carell displays that perfectly, dude. Like, he can't even help himself during that
This
during
actually
that
happened.
speech.
This
Yeah,
actually
dude.
happened.
Yeah, this actually happened, and like I really enjoyed that. And like I said, that really just kind of solidifies the fact that, like, that's why Steve Carell believes in well, I keep on saying that's why Mark believes in Jared so
Jared.
much, is because he's transparent. You know, he's being transparent about it.
Yes,
He's not spouting any bullshit to me.
because
He's trying to sell
Vinny,
me on this because he believes in it. If he didn't believe in it, I would know. You know, it's
and
like
Vin,
whenever that guy at the end, he's like, "Would you still buy Bear Stearns?" Hell yeah, I would.
I'll
Yeah, I
buy for it.
totally would. And it's just like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, you're doubling down that hard,
But
like, and it's not surprising with, you know. I
you,
mean,
do you know why he doubled down though, right?
well, I mean, it's already going low. You might as well buy.
But why? Well, why is he like that? I'll buy more birds. And why do you think that guy, the CEO? Why do you think, was it Alan Greenspan? Why do you think he?
No, that wasn't Alan
Alan
Greenspan. That
Greenspan.
was
So,
it was like Bill Miller or something like
what?
that.
Yeah. Why do you think Bill Miller Barbecue doubled down on the on the? Because he has to. He's forced to, because it's his own stock. So
Yeah.
he's making it seem like I invest myself in so much. Look, it's going down. I'm gonna buy more because it's gonna be cheaper, and then it goes down even deeper, lower. And the way like social media kind of goes around. You see that little part with the blackberries? Everybody's like,
Yep.
that's kind of cool. The Ryan Gosling's portrayal as Jared Bennett is pretty awesome. It's pretty good. I'm happy that he got way better as an actor, and he portrays it in here, because I don't see any Ryan Gosling in this character whatsoever. I don't see anything from, it's like a different character that looks completely different. Even the cheesy like hair dye. He's like,
Yeah.
I would never be caught in a place like this. I have fashion friends. You know, like that's a funny scene, but man, this movie does show me a lot, and persistence. You know, when people are against you, you gotta keep going, and you gotta prove. I mean, I like the way that Charlie and Jamie find. I mean, they say they find it at the chase, but you know, there's information. They're showing Michael giving the people, they're giving the banks all those booklets, and then you see Jamie and Charlie get the booklet, and you're like, oh wow, like it's just right there, and they that's all they did, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all they did was to get money. Oh, he's playing the piano. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Take a break to listen. That's actually not terrible.
Yeah, teaching them. I don't know what I'm doing. Way to go, Pop.
Yeah.
because he's not there you go, that's fine. He's playing play the piano. No, I think for the most part, it's made very beautifully. You know how like those art movies. I feel like Big Short is an art movie.
Yeah.
Got great stars. I mean, this has a lot of stars in it.
The pictures and the cinematography for the passage of time that you were kind of mentioning earlier, like you saw the like on Facebook and stuff like that. So you're like, okay, Facebook, because I mean, 2009 is really when Facebook started. I mean, popping. That's whenever I got my first account. So that's a year after the housing crisis. So, you know, if we had Facebook in 2007 and people were, I mean, this wouldn't be secret. I don't think it would be
I,
kind of like the GameStop stuff that we, you know,
I
and you also have Reddit and stuff like that that pop up and
I had Facebook in 2005.
yeah.
And
Oh,
the only
look at
reason,
you, Mr. Fancy.
let me tell you about my old ass. Because when Facebook first came out, I didn't start my account. My buddy Cutter Dodd Moore, love that guy. He is his real name. He from I think Montezuma, Kansas. He started my Facebook because he was like, you need a Facebook. You need a Facebook, and he actually ran it for a little bit, but he was posting all these stupid pictures of me. So then I took over. But it was only colleges could get together. I think they talk about it in the social network. I'm not too sure, but
Yeah, they do.
only colleges you could only get on Facebook with a college email, and I had one, Texas State. So I was like, okay, and that's how it started. And to this point, I think my Texas State email is still my Facebook account. But that's how it started. So it was very limited at first. Now it's like a market with everything. Like it's like you're in a little city with lights and flashing thing. But before it was just kind of like, I mean, there was no real like there was a poke or a wink or something like that. You could poke somebody. Like it was very limited, but you could still communicate. And then the messenger part didn't come in until maybe like 2 years later. But
Oh,
it was
dude, yeah, it was a while before the Messenger.
yeah, it was a minute, man. So I remember Facebook was kind of limited, and uh, man, I've had Facebook since 2005, since January 2005. But it's my
Yeah,
longest
'cause
relationship.
right? No, because that's why I got on Facebook is because that's whenever it was open to everybody. My sister had a Facebook a year or so before I got on there, or she might have had it before since you said you've had yours since 2005. I mean, she went to college in 2000, 2005. Yeah,
Yeah.
so and she probably got it in like 2007 or something like that. But yeah, that's very interesting. Like I said, 2009, I think is whenever it was.
Popped,
You have a
right?
lot of you have a lot of people now with 10-year memories, you know, all this other stuff. It's because you know, most of those people, this is the first time they're getting on. Back when Farmville was a thing, and dude, you had the Facebook app on your phone, and that was the cool. You could check Facebook on your phone. Remember when that was new, and
Um,
that was fun and crazy.
I think you needed to have an iPhone or a smartphone for that. I had the T-Mobile Ruby Red flip phone. I didn't have an iPhone for a while.
Oh, dude, I lucked out, man. I got an iPhone in 2009. So
I got mine in 2010. You want to know how I got my iPhone?
how's that?
I finally had to conform. I didn't know it. I mean, I like being late to the game, and I think it was already because I got the iPhone 4S, the first one. That was the first one I got.
Yeah,
But I was like, nah, I gotta go through all this beta testing. I don't understand what's going on. I'm when I'm there, I'll need it. Well, I didn't know I was gonna be there till I was at a club or a bar or something, and I met some girl and we hit it off. Dude, we had a great time. I remember having such a great time with this chick, and I was like, whoa, like this is awesome. Like I'm having a good time. Let me ask her for a number. We hit it off. And sure enough, she goes, "You could have my number. Yeah, I want to hang out with you again. This is fun." And then she goes, "Here's my number," and she had it on a little paper, and I pulled out my red Ruby flip phone and I flipped it open to get her number, and she goes, "Oh no, if a guy has a flip phone and doesn't have a smartphone, I can't give him my number." She goes, "Get a phone, get a real phone, and you can we can talk or we can talk." I was like, and she goes, "But you'll run into we're kind of service industry, you know, at the same
yeah.
time, so you'll find me." And I was like, "Really? What?" And then like a month passed or something, and the same scenario kind of was happening again. I was like, "I don't want to pull my phone out. I want to go get it." But I had been wanting one. I just hadn't pulled the trigger. I was like, "This is expensive. I don't know."
You
And
did
then
it because the chicks dig it. Is that what you're saying?
I think yeah, you got well. That's what all men do stuff for. It's all our motivation. She made me do it. No, but I mean, it was just weird that we're like, oh, no. But it's like this beautiful model looking chick that's my height looking right at me, just to kind of like no, give you that look and then walk away. You're like, oh, this phone.
Because of a phone, dude. That's crazy that a phone was that big of. I mean, I get it now.
Well, I'm in Austin. You know, it's on your
Yeah.
hive mentality, dude. You know. They all wanted me to join. I guess I drank the juice and it didn't matter because now I'm whatever.
No, I was looking at. We went to Best Buy yesterday. Yeah, because we went shopping yesterday and had a good old time. Got some clothes and some stuff we didn't even know we needed. But went by Best Buy just to kind of check out the Macs and everything. And yeah, it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, the thing where I'm at with like just in the economy and I mean being a son and adulting, I started learning more about things because I'm actually out there buying products that I love buying $100 worth of food and it lasting for a week. Like I didn't going out like I went out like when I was in my hometown when I got stuck there this past week. 4 meals at $40 a piece. Like, I'm like, damn, that's $120 right there. Like, I don't even have $120. How did this happen? Like, how there goes my gas money? How am I gonna get back? It's like stuff
Yep.
like stuff like that where it's like, all right, not gonna do that again. I mean, it's like, but also I hadn't eaten out so much and I had a little bit of money saved. So I was like, I'll have some fun with it. I haven't eaten this food like this, but I'm not just buying me for my son. I was buying for like friends. I like hang out for a little bit. But it shows you like you know, as soon as the pandemic hit last year, I saw all the stuff that I liked, the high end stuff. There's like four versions of something. There's only two left. There's only,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, and why they got to be the one I like to use? No one uses, like, so you kind of look around and you kind of see things. I mean, the economy, you're in it right now. Everybody's living it. We're using electricity as we speak. One thing I would like to just say, and I don't know when I was supposed to say this, but I don't know if this podcast because the economy and the way the powers that Big Brother, whatever, government, whatever, when I say it, they the way we get manipulated a little bit is there's nothing free in this country. There's seriously nothing free in this country. The only thing that is free, and I want to say that maybe that's the only thing I've gathered, is cable television, the news. You go into your house, you have a TV, you plug it into the wall, it works. You'll pick up the news. Why is that? Why is that the only thing that's going around the radio waves? Like your gas, your air, your electricity isn't free, your water isn't free. Water you need isn't free. But if you want to get programmed, you got to go watch that TV. And
Huh.
I'm thinking
That
maybe
is
back in the day,
interesting.
I think maybe back in the day, TV had maybe an influence like that, where it was like, here's what local news is for here. But now it's like turning into like a gimmick and everything. Now it's just, why isn't it free? Why is that only free? Why do we
Yeah.
get that? News like,
Well, because it's a commodity that's lost. It's something that's no longer needed, so that makes it free.
oh, good point.
Yeah,
It's around, but we don't need it.
yeah. You don't need the. I mean, yeah, dude. Now that you mentioned that, it kind of reminds me of Johnny Mnemonic. Like, what if that is the last free space where we get the real deal news, and everything else is fake?
Yeah.
But
Well,
the free whenever that's where we should be broadcasting from. CJ, it's cable news.
cable.
like
Go back to PBS.
Yeah, we could be like Wayne's World. We could be cable access.
Wait, well, party time.
We could do both. That way we can gain more viewership as well. No, yeah, that's my guess. I'm sure it was a service charge at one point, but I mean even now, I mean, you can get an antenna and everything like that and have it on your TV. What's crazy that you mentioned that on my TV, it has like, do you want to watch TV? And like I left it on there for a minute. This is a Roku TV, and it actually started playing the news. Like, and I thought it was maybe like a recording or like a preset, like, oh, this is the news kind of thing. But I put it on there a different time and it was something different. It was like the actual news was playing. But whenever I went to go like, oh, let's see if I could just get regular, I have it hooked up to nothing. I thought maybe it had like an internal antenna or something like that. That's just, I was like, oh, maybe it has an antenna just kind of built in. But yeah, it won't find any channels, anything like that. So I think
Sorry,
it's just
man.
interesting. What's
Thank
up?
you. I'm sorry, dude. I have to step away.
No,
'Cause,
go for it.
Take,
You want to
take,
just
take,
you want to
take
just
it.
pause?
Yeah, I'll pause it, dude. He took off his diaper, so sorry.
Okay.
And now, yeah, sorry about that. Pause. My toddler over here. You know that old saying, teach a person or teach a man to fish and they'll eat forever, or teach a person to give a person a fish, and they eat for a day. Teach a person to fish, and they eat forever, eat for a lifetime. My son, I taught my son when a toddler to teach a toddler to take his pole off when he pees in it is the one part, but the second part I never taught him fling it at me. So he likes to throw his. So as he was walking over here, he had that face like, "I'm gonna get you." I was like, "Why do you do that? Why I taught you to, if you pee your pants, I tell you to take it off, not to throw it at me." So he likes to.
You know that what you were just saying, that quote that you were saying, reminded me of another quote that we've had here on Side by Side,
Which quote is that?
and that's I could get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up a butcher's ass, but I'd rather just take his word for it. That's not it.
Oh yeah, teach a man to. Well, because it's teach. I didn't want to say man. The man part.
It's teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a day. Or
I got you. No, I got you. I
no,
missed you.
If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Yeah, that one. So I just took that. I was like, man, I don't know when. If I taught this teach a toddler to take his diaper off, diaper off, and I'll throw it at you. I do like he's watching Blue's Clues, and I noticed the newest guy, Josh. He looks a lot like Dad. He's a brown guy, and he listens to his dad. So it's kind of easy. I like it. I'm like, oh, good. We have a that's Steve. That's Steve right now. Come on. And he was like, who's that? I go, that's your uncle. I was like,
Damn,
the original guy, Steve.
I remember that one.
All right. I mean, the going back to The Big Short. What do you call it? I did have some. I like the few notes that I did want to talk about were just like the way that the stories kind of intertwine. It's not they're connected, and they are kind of very connected, but the way that they're told at the same time while you're like, it's weird. Like they're simultaneously telling you the same story, but individually, and you're able to keep up with it. It's not like this happened in the beginning, and then this happened, and this happened. No, it's like all happening to them at the time.
Well, and the way they told it too, like each step that you get, each person that you accumulate throughout the story just kind of adds on to it. Like the Jamie and Charlie characters, they are like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna bet against the AA and the AAA. You know, that's like,
oh, that's true. They had different angles. Yeah,
they had different angles in it, and then they had Ben, who was, in the stock market. Then he got out.
I
gotta say, whenever he's in that pub, dude, like he's getting like harassed, man.
What do they call him? A banker or a criminal
or a drug dealer? Yeah, he's like,
you're
a banker. Yeah, dude, like, and that's almost like that's what he would hear on the call floor too. Like if he'd still be hearing all this other bullshit, it's just not directed at him, you know.
I like when Ben says, "Hey, gentlemen," because he's trying to teach them. They're younger guys. Like I don't know why that's something you do as an older dude. You just try to teach younger people stuff. I don't know, but like where Ben is like, seeds are the new currency. You know, I'm like, all right. I started growing garden. Okay, you're right. Seeds are a pretty good currency. When there's no money, food is the thing that's gonna be. Actually, should have more food than money, but whatever.
And then Christian Bale's character only investing in one commodity, water.
Water.
I was just like, oh shit, that's scary, you know.
I mean, he got out of it. I guess he did. I guess he was. I mean, at that point, you don't need to do that job anymore. You've already been set. It was more of a hobby. Like he was a doctor with a trust fund or something like that. And
it's almost like he inadvertently just exposed all this bullshit that was going down. And he's like, all right, I'm out. You know, he's like
Mic
that.
Drop.
And yeah, he's kind of like that Bruce Wayne character, man. He comes, he fucks it up and gets on.
Actually, I have that in my notes. Fucks it up. He comes in. Yeah, I have that. That's cool. You said that. I have that in my notes.
Yeah, and he didn't even mean to. It's just like he decided that, you know, this is what I'm going to bet against. And I think that also kind of. I mean, he said that the main reason he was wanting to bet against it is because in 2007 they would start losing money on him.
Yeah,
because I think that's when he said like the mortgages were up or something like that. But yeah, man, this movie is crazy good. Like you said, just the way it's told, the breaks, the everything about it. I mean, just kind of it makes it
entertaining. It's entertaining. It has a lot of it's got some tragic moments. I mean, Mark Baum's brother, that part too. Like it's how it affected him. I offered him money. He he was going through, and like that is, I mean, that's where some people think that, I mean, a hug comes a long way, but you don't know that if the person doesn't open up to you, or like you, or attention, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I guess people that make a lot of money, at some point they think they don't make other people happy. I don't know. I don't have, my addictions don't really go towards, like, I gamble. I will say that, and gambling and the stock market are hand in hand. They trigger the same part of my brain. It's it's got to be a point where you just had too much money. Where's the power? And you see it in Boiler Room. These guys are going crazy. They're running around like that's childish. Like, when I waited at steakhouses, like I said, I've waited on people that have never, I've said before in the past, like, have never like really like know what like cash is at this point, because they've only had everything, debit card, and they don't know really like what like under $100 is, or just, it's weird talking to somebody that's actual trust fund kid that's not developed, or they have a lot of education but they don't know how to communicate, no soft skills, because they're used to just getting what they want. And you're like talking, I'm like, do you even know? Like, I feel like if I walked outside, if I opened the door until you walk outside, you'd get lost for life. Like, like I don't think you'd know where to go. Like, somebody's always making a decision for you, but that's either here or there. But I mean, it is what it is. People have their own, somebody, if I found a way to make a massive amount of money and no one really can stop me until other people found out, I would stay hush and do it, or whatever. I don't know. It's just, it's a weird thing how you to see people, what money does to people. And this is not a mob movie. This is not a movie about, it's kind of a smart ass movie in a way. And I think that maybe that's why it speaks my languages. But I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of these, like Lawrence and a lot of these actors are well-known actors. I just don't know who they are. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of good, talented people in this movie.
Was it like Max Greenberg, who was Schmidt off of New Girl? He was in it as like a
dude. Oh, I know you're talking about those guys. Those two stockbroker guys. Oh no, they
were like straight out of Boiler Room, dude.
Dude, exactly. Those guys, like, he goes, I'm not driving a 10 series unless I got strippers. Like, why are they bragging? Why are they
confessing?
Confessing. No, they're not confessing. They're bragging. Like idiots, dude. But what really annoys me is I've been in Austin for a while. I was like, well, then I should have just. You could have, if they were giving houses out like in 2005 and 2006. I've been here. I should have just been like, I got no credit. All right, here you go. It's a house for you. There you go. Like, now it's harder. Now it's now it's not even any inventory. I will say I did. Oh, that's who that guy is. Jeremy Strong, Vinny Daniel.
He did a great job.
He did a good job.
Those four guys around him, around Mark Baum, were, I mean, or I guess it was three guys.
Yeah, Porter, Vinny, and then what's the other guy's name? I always forget it. Because Porter and it's Danny Moses. They're Danny and Porter, and that's kind of cool because there shows their friendship about eating and where they're gonna eat. But I want to share something with you in the audience. Epididymis, the thing that Danny has, where he talks about the description to having like a third testicle.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 4 years ago? I got that. Holy crap! It hurt so bad.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh no, dude, it's not a joke. It's not a joke, man. That thing, like when he's describing it, like I was just feeling the pain again. It's pretty painful, man. And it's a slow like coming. It's a slow like I'm feeling a little. This is like it's uncomfortable, like a 0 to 1, but I'm okay. Then the next day you wake up and you're like, oh, okay, it's a 1 to 2 feeling. It's starting to go closer to that 10, that extreme pain. And then you're like, oh, then like a week, 4 days pass, and like 4 days, you're starting to feel like a 4, and then it jumps all the way to 10. And you had to go get bacteria for like pills for that. But dude, I was like, I watched that, and then when I got I was not feeling that way forever. And then when I got the doctors, they gave you like they gave you a description and a diagram and everything, and it said epididymis. I was like, oh damn it, I got that. God, it hurt so bad though. But it's just funny how he's like just there nonchalantly describing it, like I'm like that hurt so bad. How are you just describing what you're going through? Like it's like cutting your toe off, and you're just like, it's my toe. Like it's. It's like, God. I also liked a guy with Max Greenfield. I'm not too familiar with him, they're called the Mortgage Brokers. But the other guy, I think he's hilarious, man. Billy Magnuson. I think he was in the Aladdin movies. Oh, in the Woods, Into the Woods. That's where I saw him too. He's got he also plays Game Night. Ryan. He's like the guy that brings all the girls on the dates. They have game night as friends and family, and then this guy's a single guy that brings like dates, and they're all like dumb, but he actually brings like a smart girl, but he's a dumb guy. So like she like finds the best qualities in him and makes him better, and that's why they work, because she's smart and he's dumb. Like He's a good actor. I like him. He looks very hey, bring it over here. He looks very I like him. I would like to put him in a movie, man. He's you're younger than me. I'd like to put him in something, man. He's in
Let's
Black Mirror.
see
He did an
here.
episode of Black Mirror in 2011.
Game night. Okay. Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies. He's coming up in Untitled Sharon Hogan Amazon project. Shoot the Rooster. I don't see who's in this movie. Judy Greer. Oh, he's probably one of the main. Henry Winkler. Oh, the Fonz. I need to post a picture I have with him. I haven't posted it yet. Doesn't count until you post it. Get Shorty had a TV series. I didn't know that. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, I think
out
it was
there.
like on IFC.
So much stuff out there, like the things that just come off. You know, Jay and Pluto's TV series. He's trying, man. I like this kid. Kid. He's my age. I like this guy. Let's see where we at. We kind of did a pause, so let's see if we where we at in timing. But we got a little time. I highly recommend watching watching The Big Short. The part where he says that because the swap is basically like I said, a bet, and the part where Jamie and Charlie, even I like that Charlie lives with his mom. They always they try to make fun of him for that. Like I'm like, shut up, I live with my mom. When they go, nah, for real, I would totally love. If my mom had a basement, I'd totally live in it. I think there's a reason my mom never bought a house with a basement. What do you call it? Not in a spoiled way. I'll just say like it's cool being around my mom. I hung out with my mom 4 days this past week and it was fun. We're buddies. And now that I have a grandkid, I made her a grandma, and she has a grandkid. Like she's like doesn't pick on me as much anymore. So she's just excited. You know. What is it? Sorry, he's coming back. He's coming back. Release the Kraken. Yeah, he's
Lawrence.
Let's see. There's the other than the story's straightforward. With you just got to keep up with it a little bit. It's very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to come up. He wants to say hi, Ben. Everybody, Max wants to say hi.
Hello.
Here, let's see real quick. But let's make Ben. There he is. Everybody, hello. Sorry for the small interruption. It is during the day. And during the day, we get a little Maxwell movie review. Maxwell, what do you think about these movies? No, I'm playing it too. Say hi. All right. No, that's enough. The viewers, the listeners don't need to get in on this. All right. But I think huh? Oh, I'm gonna hold you again. All right. Well, basically, what this movie showed me was just like, I've seen it so much that, and I actually owned the Blu-ray and the regular DVD of this one by accident. That's another Moon. I haven't seen Moon yet. I gotta watch that one. But
it's a good one.
I have 2 of those. That's probably the only good thing that came out of the snowstorm for me was that I ordered Moon right before it hit, so it got lost like in the. Sorry.
I remember you telling me about that.
I turned off my mic and I forgot to turn it back on. All right. I think that was kind of cool. Like when you own 2 copies of movies. I own 2 copies of The Big Short. Kind of the same thing that happened with Moon, where you order it and it doesn't make it, but then it somehow shows up and they send you another copy.
It's like whenever South Park got a Walmart. Oh, you can get 3 copies of Time Cop.
Okay, so I was gonna bring that up, but did you see the new South Park?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We're sorry, everyone.
I do. I actually have some South Park socks on right now. They're Cartman.
And I can segue South Park into this because South Park is kind of making fun of the observational comedy of what's going around in life, where The Big Short is a story that happened about life. And it's like, the economy to some people is, to me, back in the day, was extremely boring because I didn't understand it. And it wasn't until I got like jobs and I understood how to make payments, and there's no life book, there's no book on life, so you just got to figure it out on your own. But the economy will help you grow up real fast because it's money. Money's the root of all evil. No, the love of money is the root of all evil. No, I think just anything with a money transaction you have to be careful with because your time is. If you earned it, like you worked for it and stuff, your time doesn't matter how you did it. Doesn't matter if you worked outside or worked inside an office. It doesn't matter. Like your time you're putting into it. And that's the thing with some people. That's the part about Boiler Room that really gets you with was it Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part that gets you, because you see what he's going through. Where the other people, you just hear them getting screwed over, and that's what I love about Boiler Room too. It doesn't focus on that whole. It gives it to you and it goes. It doesn't, like, you don't have Harry Bernard through the whole movie. Like,
No.
you have Seth talk to people on the phone and he's him shooting the shit, but then you finally get to see it towards the like middle or the end of the second act. You kind of get to see it a little bit. So that's where the point where I think what do you call it, with just like, that's a good storytelling. That's right there. The little pieces it does. I mean, I love that he had the casino. That's such a cool idea, and his dad still wouldn't respect him. You know, it's like, what do you do for a parent's love? And that. So there's a story inside Boiler Room where the Big Short is about like facts. I mean, it's about a story about life. I would use.
It's more of a biography, whereas Boiler Room is more of a it's a story, whereas the Big Short actually happened. You know, like that those events took place. It may have been romanticized for this movie in some aspects, and they even mentioned that. But these things transpired. How exactly is messed up, but they did that.
Yeah, I mean, and then lying to, I don't know. The thing about Boiler Room, if I were to recommend to somebody now to watch it, I would say that you learn really how people deal with people. You know, defend yourself a little bit. Like, not everybody's out to get you, but at the same time, I mean, it's just weird nowadays. You're getting, hey, hello, because either way, Harry, the wife, how did you get it? Well, he called me. You know, it's like, you know, it's just
he wasn't thinking about what was going down. He was just reacting because
it shows you he's in an office, he's bored. You know, you got to get money. You probably get out of there. You know, you get screwed over. I mean, he's the one that tells them everything. I have $50,000. Oh yeah, he didn't know that. You know, once you start hearing what they have, then you're like, oh, let's see what we can get out of them.
You know, and it's kind of funny because this is the time the email is kind of starting up, but not really. You know, so you still can run these over the phone scams and really make a profit. Whereas you do that now, you're just like, nope. You know, like, oh, I need to talk to you about your car insurance. Like, nope. You know, it's just like.
They're trying to get.
Even nowadays, man. I don't know about you, but I hardly ever answer a number that I don't have saved in my phone. I'll let it go to voicemail. You know,
or have the DNL, do not answer, or DNA, do not answer. Also had
a. But yeah, man, it's kind of crazy because it's on that cusp, because you would have email scammers too, man. Like, people go, oh, hey, you know, you got this opportunity. Oh, hey, you know, I'm a Nigerian prince. Oh, hey, you know.
I'm still waiting for my check from my cousin in Africa. I'm just saying, like, I'm waiting for my check. See, there's those Ponzi schemes. There was one of my favorite business class stories that, you know, my professor tells you. I liked was the story about the thingamajigger, is what he called. I think it was what they called it, or something like that. They sold it was like in 1967 or 70, where they sold an ad on the paper. Somebody said, this for $1, this revolutionary item will change your life. It'll be able to hold it up. It'll be like it'll be able to. It's sturdy. Everything you need. It can like the way they described the item. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Yo, this is like this thing's," and it's like, yeah, this is like late 60s, and the ad was it was, you send $1 to the place. Well, the thing that they send you was a paper clip, and they described all the unique advantages or whatever that come with a paperclip, like whatever the thing you'd use. Like, it holds paper, you can fold it, you can bend it, you can make it. They broke it down, but they made like $2 million off of that. People were sending $1, and then they get pissed off, they get a paperclip, and then you couldn't sue because it was a transaction. So that's how their, you know, new laws come about and stuff. But yeah, that's so crazy. Like, that's just like somebody who wants your business nowadays, with the emails, with the calls.
Dude, I bet you a paperclip back then was probably like a cent.
Yeah. So I just got a phone call now. For anybody listening, I'm not giving any advice. I'm just gonna say this is what I did, how I handled the situation. People will buy old debt, or debt that just they'll find something, or they'll say like, hey, this person at one point owed money. Let's see if we can get money out of them. I got a phone call from somebody, and I answered it because I am on certain numbers. I'm like, oh, I have to answer this one because I think it's you know, like a 818 or something like that. I was like, I know that's a payment of mine or something. Maybe because sometimes I don't know, they just call me, and maybe for new do something. So I answered the call, and they said, "Hi, so and so. Yeah, I go, we have this debt from 2000, or we have this debt, this previous debt you have for Capital One." I was like, "I don't know Capital One any money." And they're like, yes, you do, sir. And how would you like to collect? Because they try to get you right away. They try to be like real professional, like, this is the attempt to collect the debt, and anything you say can and will be used against you. Hi, my name is Valerie from blah, 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 and we just attempt to collect the debt for Capital One in the amount of $480. How would you like to settle that debt right now? And you're just like, what debt is that? Capital One. So I owe Capital One money. And he goes, yes, sir. I go, how is that possible when I have 2 Capital One cards right now? Actually, I have a few more. And the person was like, well, this debt is from 2003. Oh, what year? I go, 2003, ma'am, you're still 2000 and late. And and she goes, I go, that's not. I go, that debt has been paid off. And then the person that, I guess the person they sold it from, it actually did say sold off. And she was like, oh, it says it here. Sorry. I'm like, exactly. I shouldn't have had that long conversation, but the way it sounded, they made it so professional that it got to the point where I was like, all right, let me make sure. And then once because they did have my information. But then they said, oh, it's from 2003. I was like, nah, I know exactly what credit card you're talking about. I had one Capital One credit card in 2003. And yeah, I paid that off. And it's just, they try to scam you any which way they can. I mean, any which way. Apparently people need money. And, have you George Carlin's description about Jesus or God? How he says, apparently he needs money, lots and lots of money, because he's real bad with it. So every Sunday you got to donate money to Jesus because he needs it. But I mean, that's something, I don't really care about all that church stuff, but it's the idea, the concept about it, as where you can put that into another business where someone says like, hey, it's weird that people still do door-to-door knocking, still come to your door. I did tell a kid that there's if you listen to Zig Ziglar, he is a guy, I would say motivational speaker, but a business motivational speaker, and he'll tell you how to do certain, this is from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, something like that, but they work, the techniques still work. And there's the Zig Ziglar technique, how you knock on someone's door. There's you knock on the door, you give them space, you wait to see the situation, you address them, and then you sell yourself. And the pitch is one time, you get one sell, you get one shot, and you got to get them. It's kind of like putting your foot through the door, but without putting your foot through the door. It's that pitch. And I had some kid come by a couple months ago, maybe, yeah, it was still pandemic time because it was real far. It was like heavy pandemic time. And I listened to him, and dude, I didn't realize I did this. Just like old boy Seth, I just told him, dude, you did a good pitch. Keep working on it. The more you enunciate, the more it'll come out more natural, and the more you sound like you know what you're doing. But you do sound like you know what you're doing. You're just not there on the presentation. And he goes, I go, you using the Zig Ziglar? He goes, yeah. And I go, yeah. Keep doing it. I never did that, but I told him I did that. So you're doing it like, I don't know, door to door. My buddy recently did door to door, and he was crushing it with roof cells. But then like the roofing company, I don't know, couldn't keep up with demand or something, because he was just crushing it. He was like, oh, I can sell roofs. But it's like, you find that niche. He was doing everything by the book, And he was like, yeah, he figured it out. He was waiting tables, and then the restaurant shut down. He had to get a job. He started selling roofs, and it was like, boom, there you go. But there's other ways he could go about it, or, I know Ponzi scheme of like somebody goes, man, I know this one pretty well. I didn't do this one. This one was almost done to me. That's why I caught him. They'll find a vehicle that has a bunch of like hail damage on it, and they'll find out that they'll call your insurance, and they'll say they represent you. They'll max out your insurance, and then they'll take it to like a mechanic, or I guess a chop shop, but they'll just say like, hey, how much does this work for? And they'll be like, oh, it's $1,000 worth of work. Okay, I'll pay you the $1,000. I'll keep $2,000, $3,000. I'll give the person back $1,000. So that's why they always say, well, hail damage, you'll even get money on hail damage through your insurance, but your premiums are all the way up and stuff, So it's a weird scam that, because I remember like when you're younger, you're like, I feel like I'm getting scammed, but let me see how I am getting scammed. And then you start figuring it out. You're like, oh, this is what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off right there. You don't represent me.
It's like whenever the pandemic started, you're like, oh, if you send me $100 and you stay in this little circle, you'll get $800. Did you ever see that? Papa? No. It was something. Even one of my buddies did it, and it was like, if you send in $100, it's just like a rotation. You're just waiting to get your 800.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yes. Like it's like we have 10 people here. You're number 9. You're number 10, and you'll fill in the 1,000, and then in 3 weeks you'll get $1,000, and then you'll find out what to do with it. But it adds up to you still paying. Like, if you did it the right way, there's a right way to do that. And if you did it the right way, you still end up paying like the $10,000, but you kind of get it. The problem is after the first 2-3 people go and they don't want to give the money up anymore. They don't want to pay anymore, and that's just, I mean, diplomacy. And I just think it's what do you call it? I think that's just, I don't know, Ponzi schemes, the way people try to make money. That amount of effort you can put into actually working or creating, you would take you so much farther than the risk you get caught doing it.
Yeah, but you don't make that quick buck.
Yeah, is that the quick high thing?
Oh yeah, that's what drives everybody. I mean and once you get to a certain point, once you're like, okay, this is where I'm going to stop and get out, then you're just going to be like, well, I can make so much more. Why do I need to stop now? Yeah. It's like you said, it's like gambling.
It is, dude. It feels exactly like gambling.
So with that being said, what would be your max if you had money in the stock market? What would be this is my get out amount?
Oh, where if I hit something where it get me out?
Yeah. Like say if you had some stock that just skyrocketed, and it's like people need this now, and they can't do without it.
Well, I go by percentages in the stock market. So if I bought something that's kind of boring. Okay, no, I would say at least 50K, at least minimum. Like where something skyrocketed. Like let's say, I don't know, let's say I blindly bought a stock and it did that and it got me 50K. I'd be like, but because I do that, I'll be like, but I won't buy a lot of it, But if it was something that I bought, there was a stock that I purchased that did blow up from pennies to like tens of dollars. And I did take it out early and it still kept growing. And I just said, I'm happy with what I got. Yeah. But I mean, like if it was like right now, if I looked at my stocks and I had a stock that went up to 50K and it was only gonna be there for an hour and I had to sell it, and then there might be a potential for the jump, I'm like, nah, I'll just take the 50K. But that being said, my next one wouldn't be 50K. I'd wait for, you're right. It would start growing in me. I'd wait to 100,000 and then, I could do that 500. Yeah, I know, you're right. I'm already thinking ahead. I'd be like, nah, yeah, you're right. You're right. In my head. And we have yeah, you're right. I would be the perfect lab rat for that study because it would be what you just said. Really, actually, there would be no amount that would start me off. It could be anything from 10,000 to 20,000 on the hit. If the hit, if it's 10,000, I'd pull it out and then I'd be like, oh, what can we do now with that 10,000?
So in this, say like in the Big Short scenario, if somebody was like, all right, I just got you $489 million, would you be like, okay, I'm out?
Fuck yeah, hell yeah. Fudge yeah.
That question warranted a fuck yeah.
Fudge yeah.
Cool. So that's what I was kind of
put it this way. If
that was kind of like a one-off situation anyway, but I was just kind of curious.
Put it this way: would you do this like right now? Let's say if Michael Berryman said, "Hey, you need to pay me $1,000 a month for the next 2 years and you'll be a millionaire." Would you do that?
Just a millionaire or like
just $1 million? Just a cool million. He says you pay. So you'd be paying $24,000 total.
$24,000 to be a millionaire in 2 years.
But you don't know though. There's a blind, like you have to go by his.
But here's the thing. I can budget that, right? Like I can afford that.
I'm saying right now, it'd be a struggle, but I would figure out how to make $1,000 a month.
No, I could make it happen.
Yeah.
If he told me like this is definitive date, yeah. And even in this movie, man, it was rough goings because he was like almost negative 20%.
Dude, it's 20%. I would say with the 40%. When I went negative 40, it was a small amount. It wasn't a lot. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's a big dent. But then it skyrockets back up like in a few weeks, and you forget about that. But at that moment, I could see like Harry, dude, he was freaking out. And imagine that's all the possibilities in your head. There's no internet. There is, but it's not like how it is now, where you could just easily guide everything through it. Now it'd be like, oh God, the stress amount,
Yeah. Put
it this way. Would you okay, so Mark Baum, he holds as long as he can until Vinny finally gets him to be like, it's now Mark. Now, Vinny's a numbers guy. And
yeah, I think that he felt like he made him bleed.
Would you hold that long too? Because eventually it's gonna drop, right? That's what they're saying, and he has to sell it while it's hot.
It depends on where Mark Baum was. If he felt like he was secure financially, and he was just messing with other people's money, I think that. I mean, would I do that? No, not if I was an investor and I had other people's money. I'd probably pull out earlier than that. I wouldn't, but I mean, I think that was his best option.
But 400% up, like at one point at a million, it's like at what point is like 100% up? Would you just stop? Because or at 200. But see, that's why they call it the
No,
short
dude,
because it's a bubble. So
yeah.
it's not like a long where gradually you see like, hey, I've made this is like a freaking it doesn't exist and then it's there. And then
Mhm.
it's when you can't see it, it exists, but then now you see it and now it's gone. So you have to make your mark. You have to come in and out. That's crazy. Now that the more I learn about the stock market, the more
Well,
it
and it took
intimidates
him.
me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it took what Dr. Barry like 2 years because he
Mhm.
did it in 2005. It wasn't until 2007 he was like, "This is when," because I think that's when all those mortgages were going to be. There was something going on with them. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, man, it was. Yeah, it's confusing stuff. Like you said, it makes it a little bit more intimidating.
I think the fact that I've been gambling for all my life. No, I think getting comfortable, and I'll just say this about gambling because I love Vegas. I do. I always just set aside amount of money I'm willing to lose. I'm gonna lose, and that's it. You know, I don't dip into anything else. That's why I've had to restrain myself like that if to, in order to enjoy it. And I'll take your 500 and I'll come back with 800. That's a great. Or I come back with 440. I lost $60. But it gets to the point where I'm starting to be smarter about my picks. But I mean, just like I got started in the stock market, same like gambling, just figure it out. You're gonna lose a lot, but you might win. You know, I don't know. The stock market is not a game. It's not a toy. It's very scary. I've been watching these on YouTube, these YOLO bets. You only
Hmm.
live one bets, and those are insane. I don't invest, and I'm an investor. I don't want anybody getting advice from me. I'm not an investor. I don't know anything. I worked at a bank right out of high school for 2.5 years, and that helped me out understand things. Didn't show me how to really finance things. It just showed me about the talk of money over what is real money. You'd have this ladies come in with like, and this is back in the day, 2003. You have like these ladies with their fur, like, I don't know, mink or something, like some kind of fur coat with his big hats, his big glasses, walking around. Because back then you could only check the ATM. You could check your balance at the ATM or at the counter. So they'd come to the counter and be like, "What's my balance?" or whatever, and you'd be like, "Oh, $800." Okay, you're wearing your clothes, obviously, you're wearing your money. And then a
Hmm.
family would come in with like 8 kids and one woman, and then her husband was a trucker, and then you open their accounts like $48,000. You're like, whoa, because they have to survive. They have 6 kids or whatever, and they're taking care of themselves. They're not, but the kids are disciplined. They're not spoiled. It's a family thing, and you see that. So I started realizing like, where does your money go? Is you gonna invest it in yourself? Or you're gonna invest it on yourself?
Yeah.
And a lot of the a lot of I thought I got into that riff right there with that story. I really like that story, man, because I've been telling that for a while since 2003, and I learned I didn't learn how to finance through. I didn't learn anything about. I just learned how people use their what they use their money for and what they felt what they had value. And when you when you when you start doing investments in those YOLO bets, I only put, like I said, I only put the like a 500 or 200 or one, whatever my gambling I'm going to lose, put that to the side and I play with that. But I know that that's my absolute most I'm going to lose because I'm not going to go, that's it. I lost that. If I lost, I lost. But with these YOLO bets, like
Hello,
can
hello.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yep.
So like these YOLO bets, like they do it towards where they called it. I think it's called a call option. I haven't looked at anything on this because I don't want to know anything about this. It's basically you're betting when the value of a stock. I think I don't know. I'm off, but it's gonna be, and you either get it right or is it gonna be up or down. That's just like that's all it is. Like you buy a stock now, you put and it does like multiplies the amount. I don't really know how it works, but all I do know is if you win, if you hit right on a call sheet, you can make $1 million with only doing like a $2,000 investment. Vice versa, if you miss, you can owe $1 million on a $2,000 investment if you do it wrong. See,
Mm.
that's the thing I don't really mess with. Anything that could lose more than what I put in, I don't want to. I don't think. That's why I don't know anything about call option. But the fact is that people younger and they just see it, they're gonna try it. Like, yo, I can make like GME and all that, GameStop, like people doing all that kind of stuff. Like that. See, that's that we talked about this movie. We talked about The Big Short twice already in our podcast, and we never brought it up till now. Now look at the GameStop thing.
Hmm.
Like it's insane how it's like life imitates art and art imitates life. Like what the hell? Like were we that I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to start a movement or anything. I'm just like just be aware of things. And that's just kind of weird. But that some people like the way they treat the stock market like a casino, and you're gonna lose your ass. Do not do that. I would definitely like you do not like don't want to get in debt first of all in anything, and then you don't want to owe money like to other people. I've also heard like people will go to a bank or a credit union and get a loan out and then use that money to gamble, online or whatnot, and then they owe two people. Like, don't do that. Just learn how to live within your means, and learn how to learn the economy, learn what it costs to make food, and what you're spending on gas and travel. Where do you want to live? Like, how do you want to take care of yourself? How do you want to live where you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're living in an awesome city and it's okay for you to kind of like everyone else is doing it? Or are you gonna be in your hometown and just start saving all this money so you can get out? Or are you gonna live paycheck to paycheck there? Like, you can still have fun. It's up to you to figure out what. There is no rules to life and finances. There are books, and there's people that other people did, but the only book that we're going to have is a side-by-side movie podcast book. I don't know when it's going to be made, but we're going to make one.
We're making one. Dude, so Porter, the guy in The Big Short, he was his last name is Linklater. I wonder if he's oh no, he's born in Massachusetts. Never mind.
Maybe. What's his real name?
No, that's his real name.
Linklater?
Hamish.
Hamish.
Linklater. Yeah.
Porter Collins. He's a rower at Brown. He's in Fantastic Four. He played Leonard. Battleship. What was his last movie?
He looks familiar, man. Like he looks like a familiar face.
He was in Fargo TV series. He was in Ithaca. That's where Ithaca, New York, road trip. Ooh, is that the next one we're doing? Road trip?
Ooh,
that'd be a good one. Yeah.
Fargo.
All right, Amish. All right, let's do let's get into these ratings. Let's get going. I do want to talk about dude. Look at this Boiler Room. Let's talk about the Wikipedia for a little bit. Budget $7 million, $28 million on the box office. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little story that's just. I mean, it's a cool way of telling a boring stock market story. Holy crap! Look at this, The Big Short. $50 million budget. Box office
raked in 200 million.
Nah, not that high, but a good amount.
100 million.
A little bit more. 150.
130.
133.4. That's a good chunk of change. I mean, Brad Pitt probably cost a good 10% of that.
Oh yeah.
So
I bet you some of those higher actors were like, "I'll get a gross of this movie. Just give me a little bit of the profit."
No, that's true. Damn, 489% with an overall profit, even allowing the massive premium. So that's what he made. He cleared after he paid his debt. There was 489%.
Jesus. Oh. Yeah. No, there was some kind of, after Boiler Room was released, they actually did go in and arrest some people, apparently.
Kind of like
at Sterling Foster, I think it was.
Kind of like Joe Exotic after he came out on Netflix. They got his.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, I think he looks like he's made for that kind of environment. So, principal photography on the film began March 18, 2015 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh, so Big Short was shot in New Orleans. On March 25th, filming was taking place on General de Gare. Remember, I can't speak French. Boulevard in the Algiers section of New Orleans. Let's see. Oh, so, and then it says they shot in. Filming took place short stretches of Mercer Street between Prince Street and Spring Street in Manhattan, New York. So they only shot a few shots in New York, but a lot of it was made in Louisiana, like our movie Jay and Silent Bob reboot. They're made in Louisiana. So let's go on to the ratings section of this whole ordeal we have everybody on tonight.
Go
today.
ahead and give us Boiler Room.
Boiler Room ready. We have ourselves here a 7 out of 10 out of 49,696 votes. I just forgot how to say that.
Yeah, and over here on Rotten Tomatoes, Boiler Room has a 66%, which isn't surprising, honestly, from the critics. It's 101 reviews, and it's kind of that younger generation movie. I imagine some of the older critics were just like, what's this? They're just throwing, that was stupid. So I could see that going down. Audience score is going to be 78%, with 25,000 plus ratings. The critics' consensus, its ending is disappointingly tidy, but Boiler Room boasts just enough sharp writing and brisk pacing to make getting there worthwhile. That's kind of a shitty review.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a critic review. I mean, its ending is disappointingly tidy. I
Yeah,
can kind of see that, but the ending is still a good ending. It's not, it's not like a lackluster. It's not, I
no,
mean, it's a story. I mean, I did
it
want to know
just
what happened to Seth. He just drives off. So
it just kind of ends. I think that's where maybe it's just such a cut. Like, okay, the FBI is coming and we're over. You know, like there's no follow up, nothing like, oh, we're gonna have you testify. Normally, I feel like normally in a movie like that, you'd actually see him testify, and there'd be a little bit more resolution. But it's not based technically off of a true story, so I feel like you only kind of get those out of the true stories where you see everything, the entire process, and how it
yeah.
goes down.
And I also like the fact that Rounders and Maid are at the bottom, a suggestion of
Yeah, I
the.
saw that.
And I was like, man, this does have a Rounders feel to it. It really does have a,
Just kind of that Brat Pack kind of feel.
yeah, I would say that. I would say that Brad Pitt. Hold on, right?
But yeah, man, do you wanna do The Big Short, and then we can do our
Yeah. Let's do it.
numbers. All right.
Big Short on IMDb has 7.8 out of 10 votes. 369,698. So more people watch this one. 7.8. What you got on the run?
So on Rotten Tomatoes, we do have a certified fresh 88% rating on the tomato meter out of 330 reviews, which I think is pretty respectable. It's not very surprising considering the subject matter, and that not 8 years earlier, everybody that was probably reviewing this movie got screwed in the housing market. So they're
Yeah.
probably like, yeah, this is a big middle finger to everybody. Oddly enough, audience score is right at 88% as well. Um, so the critics' consensus on The Big Short approaches a serious, complicated subject with an impressive attention to detail and manages to deliver a well-acted, scathingly funny indictment of real-life villains in the bargain, which I think is that nails it on the head, man. That is exactly what this movie is. I mean, that's a great review.
Yeah, and then the 88. Is that our first tie we've had? The
I
88s?
think so. I
And
think it
that's
is.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of like the infinity number two, 88s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it's that man, that's I have nothing to say about this score. I do love this movie, but I'm okay with 88s. I mean,
I
what's certified fresh means again? That
So that
enough.
means it's reviewed by a certain amount of critics, and a certain percentage of them give it a good rating. So I think once you hit 80%, or maybe even be like 75%, you're certified fresh. I would imagine it's 80%. Let's see here. But yeah, that would be my guess on there. I'm not entirely too sure. But yeah, man. I'm not mad about this either. So let's get over to your. What do you think? You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So on Boiler Room, man, I'm giving it a 10.
All right. I was okay. So okay, 10 for the film itself. Overall storytell, you got 10. And then how do you feel about the actual not the feel of the movie and the story itself? Do you feel like they like went well together? Because I thought the movie was pretty cool
Yeah.
for a
No, I thought it
2000
was
movie.
too.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like that gives me a little bit of more juice on this steak.
Yeah.
I think it's aged well. I like I said, I love the Ben Affleck Jim Young performance. Like I'm studying that monologue. Also just the way Giovanni Ribisi, the way he does his man, he's such a good, like, I want to say method actor or in the scene actor. I don't know how the hell he does that. It looks like he's on stage. It looks like he's naturally doing it. I'll say that yeah, I'm about a 10 on this one too. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit more on 11 because for what they
It's
did, but
it's
it's a
not that
10.
it's a bad movie or anything. It's just and
Vin,
it tells a story that needs to be told. It shows a fraudulent business, and that people can get had by people like this. I think it's trying to expose something.
I mean,
And I
the
think
whole
it did.
the whole like I mean just the things that surprise, not the surprise, I knew it was good, but I when I get seeing again Vin Diesel's performance really
Yeah,
like that
really shown.
he could have easily like if he would have been like just a little bit more maybe Fast and Furious a little bit like maybe this shot this a little bit after he had done like 2 or 3 of them or whatever. I feel like that's not the Vin Diesel we see here. We see like a real actor, a guy really getting into it, a guy that really
He's trying to do his it's his chops, you know.
yeah.
He's trying
And
to.
I mean, even Scott Conn, like I said, he pays the. I was hoping at one point I was like, oh, please don't turn into Joe Pesci from.
I mean, and
you know,
this is
Goodfellas.
kind of like his, you know, not it's not his first movie by any means, but like this is like before he's really getting going into those early 2000 movies, you know.
I mean, yeah, and Jamie Kennedy kind of plays the same dude as Harold and Kumar because he has the mustache and the suit. Like I was like, is that the stockbroker? Is what happened? He's now in the Harold and Kumar world running around.
Very well
like,
may be, man.
he's just like lost, huh? Is it your Bush?
Kumar, I mean, Harold, he was an investment. Yeah, he was getting.
Oh, dude, what if that's? Oh, that's true. Wow, that's so crazy. What is it?
But yeah, man. So, what about The Big Short, though?
Big Short.
I want to hear what you would, because okay, I'm at a certain number right now, and I need to hear your score to bump it up.
I see you're trying to negotiate with me right now. I see you have a number written, and
I have a number written down.
That's your number written, and that's what you're working with.
That's what I got.
And that's all you got right now. I got a number. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
This is a Super 13 for me.
Ooh.
By far, I love this movie, dude. Not only is it great acting, it's educational. By watching this movie 100 times, I learned more of the economy and the stock market, how it works, just because it just it makes it simpler for you. There's ways like I love the way that Jared Bennett says, like, yeah, they do it to complicate you. The lingo, there's lingo there. And I think that's what happens. Like in even movies, there's certain things you have to say. You're like, why don't you just call it that? Well, because we say this on a movie set. And it's like, you take the effort to learn that, to put that effort into learning something. And this movie, as you educate, and I mean, I saw this movie way more. I seen way more than seen Boiler Room. But as I was watching Boiler Room, I was able to keep up with it so well because I was like, oh, because this is what they're doing. I mean, the Michael character I was like, oh, I see what he's doing. He's making up numbers, so they all have to follow together. All right, cool. Like I was able to repeat. I mean, sorry, reflect off it. I don't know. I haven't done my top movies list, but whenever I get to it, this would probably be number 6 or 7 around there. Like this was creeped up. This one has really creeped up in my on my list because I even like Brad Pitt and Moneyball. I love that one. That's like a slow paced, beautifully made movie. I gotta say that he's in this one too. He has he plays was like Billy, what's his name? Can't remember what his name is in the movie, but he plays an ex baseball player that didn't really pan out, but he's a great. But it's a real life based off a real life story too, you know. And it's also based like Friday Night Lights is the same thing I like, and it's based off of that. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a Super 13. It's gonna be just all right, just a good ride. It's educational. It's about the truth. I mean, I don't say truth, but it's about the stock market and the kind of like the Billy Bean. That's the name of that movie. Sorry, in Moneyball. But I think it says the fact that it's like telling us it's kind of cool. Like it's kind of cool showing us like the Wizard of Oz as we're going to it, you know, like kind of this is what's behind the curtain. I mean, there's nothing we can do about most of the stuff, but the fact that they made it to a well-written movie and give Ryan Gosling his credit, man. That dude can act too. Give Ryan Gosling some credit. Give Margot Robbie some credit for being in a bathtub, you know, bubbles. Steve Carell does a great job. I mean, this movie's. I can walk. I've had this movie playing in the background, and I walk into a scene, and I just watch the scene, and as soon as it ends, I walk out because I watch the whole movie. But I love the way. I mean, the Jared Bennett versus Vinny. You know, how you fucking me? You know, how you fudging me? Tell me before I do the move. How you fudge? Like, it's like Vinny. You don't even have to. You have like it's 2005. I guess that's you have to in 2005. Never mind. It's not now. In 2005, like that's why Vinny had to be like, yo, like, all right, just be honest with me. You know, it's like. Yeah, you could hide a little bit more back then. Now it's a little bit harder to hide your actions because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're by 2, can you go to work? And you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden I see you checking in on Facebook and Instagram. Like, are you at work? You know, it's like easy but back then it's all word. So this number you wrote down, I need to see if I can meet it.
Well, it was a 12, but you got me with one word, educational. So that brought it up to a 13.
Oh,
That's a 13. This is a movie you could show you could show kids in high school, and they would totally react to it and be like, "This is what happened in 2008. You may have been a child, but I know that some of you were affected by this. This is something that you need to, watch. This is part of our history, our current history." There's a couple other movies like Too Big to Fail. Is an HBO movie that was really good.
Oh, I know about that, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it had like Bill Pullman and William Hurt. It had a whole lot of people in it, but it was really good. I enjoyed that one, and it was the opposite end of The Big Short. I think I saw Too Big to Fail before The Big Short, and yeah, it was
James Woods in it.
yeah, and it's like the bankers and all these people whenever the economy fails, and then you have the other side of it that we watched today. But yeah, it's the 13. This movie is shot wonderfully. It has nice breaks, nice pauses to kind of take you away and explain to you it's not all just about what's going on in this. Well, it is all about what's going on in the story, but it does it in a way where it's not preaching to you. It's just trying to educate you and show you what's going on. It's a very, like I said, breaking the fourth wall, saying like this actually happened. It's almost like making a documentary, but it has a narrative to it. Like that's how I feel about this movie. It's more of a documentary than anything. It's just that they, as you know, to make it a Hollywood movie, they had to manipulate some things to make it more conducive to Hollywood. And this is, yeah, no, definitely a 13, a must see for anybody that is still alive and still wants to know what's going on in the world. I mean, like I said, this was what, 15 years ago
Yeah.
this started, and then it was a little bit less than that we actually had the housing crisis. And I mean, at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I was 18 years old, and that was right before my dad passed away too. So I really didn't even, that losing the farm and everything very well could have been a thing that would have happened regardless. I know growing up and learning a little bit about finances and parents' finances. I mean, they were in a lot of debt. We couldn't even afford to stay out there hardly at all, between taxes and just keeping it going and paying monthly and everything. So, I mean, hell, it might have been rough going after that. I mean, even being in Texas, man, I feel like being here in Texas, we didn't feel it near as hard as a lot of people, just because, I mean, we do really kind of have our own little economy down here. And,
we do.
And like I said, I wasn't living in Austin at the time. You probably have a little bit better idea of really what happened. But I mean, hell, there weren't a lot of people that I knew that were like, oh, we're losing our house, or, oh, we're getting foreclosed upon, or anything like that. So
I will say that I was kind of a prick around that time but not towards the people that need. There's a few parents that would talk bad about me about just because I wasn't focused. I dropped out of college. I was like, all right, whatever. Like I gotta pay out of pocket. I don't have your parents that pay for, like, my friends' parents like pay, and then one time we were having like a little dinner or something, and they said, because I mean, my graduating class, if I like from my high school to college, was supposed to be 2007, right? When the market hit crash and there was no jobs. So all these people with all these college debt were looking for jobs, and my dumb ass is, they're just working with no debt. I mean, still in college, still getting college educated, but just getting community college. And they'd be like, they say something like, well, there are no jobs out there, no jobs. And at this time I was living a little bit fat because I was doing the lab rats. So while lots going on, I'm in there, like, just watching what's going on. And people are educating me on this. A lot of people, I got educated in there too, because I was like, what's going on? And a lot of people were just telling me about stocks. And you just pick up, you just learn, like, you just listen. You don't have to have to understand it right away. But I said something like, "Well, I don't feel bad because there's no jobs out there." And they're like, "Well, what about us? Why do we? What about the people that have just graduated with no?" I go, "Well, then why'd you go to college?" And then they all looked at me like a hole. I was like, "Well, why you didn't know what you wanted to do? I didn't know. I know what I want to do, but I was trying to do something else, and here we are. I mean, I'm still, you still figure it out. But I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it's just weird when you're younger and when you're in college and everyone's talking about, oh, you're studying art and you're studying movie. Oh, there's no money in that. There's no money in that. And then when we're supposed to graduate, it's like, there's no money for any of us. That's the way of it. That's the way of the world. Like I don't depend on other people,
No.
But man, I think for where we're going with just in life in general, there's these signs. I mean, I said this back at the end of season 1, like, pay attention. Like there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is take care of yourself, take care of your health. This is what I learned. And I'm going to share this with anybody. It shares with you, Ben, for sure. There's a few things I learned about the game of life. There's 3 things that I've learned that'll keep you grounded. And this, I mean, you can't really move. But other than this, you should be okay. One is health. If you don't take care of your health, if you're not like taking care of like checking out your body and like figuring out, like keeping your like one, because if you're constantly sick, if you have immune deficiencies or something, like it's kind of hard for you to get around because you're especially now with COVID and stuff, you got to watch out where you're going. Like take care of your health, because those hospitals can rack up, or if you have to constantly, if something breaks, like once you get old, you're wear and tear, Another thing is, what do you call it? The law. Try very hard to like not get in trouble with the law. Because once you go through a probation period, or you get through once you get stuck where you're forced to stay somewhere, you can't really go anywhere. You're grounded. You can't go anywhere like that. That's another thing. And the other one is family. Watch what you do with your family. There can be people that are your blood or not blood, or friends or family or whatever. Because if the environment you're around, it doesn't help you fly or get away, you're not gonna move. Or if you're constantly getting into it, people, or that you're supposed to be on your side, but they don't feel like it. Like watch friends and family, because like also too, like like relationships is basically what I'm saying. Because if you get in a relationship and you feel like, let's say you're it's cool, like if I'm a director and I'm dating an actress, it goes in the same field. But like a director dating, like, I don't know, a doctor, there's like, is it like is like, am I going to support her? Is she going to support me? Like, and I don't mean financially. I mean, or is it going to be like, who's gonna, like, I want to go know what you're doing. It's just like I feel like something has to give, and if you want to be that director and it costs you way more to give up that relationship, then you do that, But that's the point. It's up to you. Like but I'm saying those are the 3 things that I think that can hinder you. Other than that, I think you should be good if you can keep those 3 things under wraps, or keep them close, not controlled, but know what those are going on. Everything else doesn't matter. And I gotta say, this is a good watch, man.
Yeah.
Both of these could be 2 really boring like PSAs, like, and it's not. This is actually a cool movie, a rated R movie at that, which I
Both
obviously,
of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well I can see why Boiler Rooms, why it's rated R, because Scott Conn going in there as Richie, I can. Even that scene, it could have been even like bloodier, and it wasn't. It was just an ass whooping. You know what I mean? I love that they didn't focus on these fights. That there's like, you guys gonna fight, go for it. That being said, we got a 13 and a super 13 out of this one.
Yeah.
Where are we going next? Where are the guys headed? I was gonna suggest sports movies, but
We got Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
We got
All right.
Brad Pitt. We got Ryan Gosling. We got
Dude, you said Steve Carell. You said, oh, Brad Pitt is. Ooh, I don't really. I know for the mood, Moneyball is gonna go a little too slow. It's a slow burn, but I love it. I mean, we got the 40-year-old version. We got. I mean, I have never seen Foxcatcher. I mean, look at this. He's got The Office.
I know. They have Flags to Your Father, which is Richard Linklater.
Flags to Your Father. Oh, that's the one where he has like he's PTSD, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't seen that one.
I want to see it, but I think it might be a little too girl power-ish by the previews. But let me find out by the trailer. Let's find out. But look at his top 4 movies. Oh, Little Miss Sunshine, I forgot. Like he's got The Office, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Foxcatcher, and The Big Short, which are like, those are more performance pieces. The Big Short and Foxcatcher, and then 40-Year-Old Virgin is like you're getting to get introduced to him. Like, oh, no wonder he looks so young. He doesn't have any of that stress that comes with being in a relationship.
Well, they do have a new Steve Carell movie, Irresistible, that's on HBO.
Simply Irresistible. Oh, I hadn't seen that one. I haven't seen Jon Stewart, directed by Jon. Is that the Jon Stewart or other Jon Stewart?
Nope, that's the Jon Stewart.
The Jon. That would be something to watch. That's something new. I haven't seen it. I was also going to say, There's one that's on Ruko TV. What's it called? The one with Steve Buscemi, the Wonderful World. What's it called? Like plays a musician. It's a magician, and it's let's see.
Last Flag Flying. That's what it was.
It's called. I forgot he's an anchorman too, but he was also
He was an Anchorman 1 too.
yeah. What's that movie called? This one's Jim Carrey, Steve Buscemi, and when was it made? It's like he plays a oh god, I can't believe I'm forgetting all this stuff.
Steve Buscemi.
It's like in 2000. All right, whatever. I would like Steve Carell. I mean, we could do Brad Pitt. We can do Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling. I think this is when Ryan Gosling did he had this little run of these movies where he was just killing it. I think this is.
It's the Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
There we go. I don't know why it's not on my.
It was like it's 2013.
That's why. Let's see.
Yeah. So Steve Carell, man.
There. Yeah, you're right. There it is. Incredible Burt Wonderstone. I like that one. I mean,
if we go Brad Pitt, we could do Tarantino doing Glorious Bastards and.
What's the other one?
Lieutenant Aldo Raines.
I haven't seen the what's it called? Hollywood? What's it called?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen Drive either. For Ryan Gosling.
What about Something Over the Pines? I haven't seen that one.
Is that Ryan? Oh, that's the one where his brother, right? It's Casey Affleck.
Actually, I saw a movie the other day with Ryan Gosling that actually looked really good. So let's go with him.
Let's do Ryan Gosling.
Let's do a Ryan Gosling double feature, and let's see.
Let's do
The Notebook and
yes.
Come
on, where's the other one? The other one where he takes his shirt off.
Oh wait, the other guys.
I was gonna say
the nice guys. That's
the nice guys. But I was gonna say let's do Nice Guys and Crazy Stupid Love. He takes his shirt off. No,
Only God Forgives. That's
dude, I have heard about this one.
Yeah,
I'm cool with the Nice Guys, man. I love a good Shane Black.
Let's see here.
Only God Forgives. That's the one where he's in.
He's like in Bangkok.
Yes, yeah, dude. We should. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews.
Crazy Stupid Love, where we have Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling,
and it's a love story. I'm good with that one. Okay, we've chosen. We're on the Ryan.
We're definitely on the Ryan Gosling train. I kind of want to watch this Only God Forgives movie because it seemed really good, but we don't have to. We
could also do Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049.
We could do that.
We could do that. But I mean, I kind of want to go where you're going. I didn't see this Gangster Squad. I think Josh Brolin's in it.
Yeah, I'm good on. What about The Place Behind the Pines?
I'm not too familiar with it, but I'll watch it. I mean, I don't familiar with the story, but I'll watch it. I just saw the trailer. I think Eva Mendes is in it too. I think.
Let's see here.
I do want to go with Only God Forgives because that one looks pretty like out there.
Yeah.
And then, then you want to do the Over the Pines?
Let's see here. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Because I think the Nice Guys would be a good because he does a hell of a performance on there, and I think he's more of the lead in that. I think Russell Crowe's a lead, but he's also like not as much as Ryan Gosling really steals the show on that one.
Yeah, because like you said, it's. Yeah, we can do the Nice Guys.
Do you want to do Only God Forgives and the Nice Guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and these are also I love this 2013, 2016, and then for those listening, I would like to kind of bring in a little bit more about Only God Forgives because I didn't know there's a trailer about this. I saw this in like a Watch Mojo or something where it showed they talked about this movie very little, and I was like, oh wow, okay. So there we go. You know what? I don't even know how long this podcast has been because I had the timer going, but then we had our little breaks, and it's just such a great little conversation about these two movies.
I think with everything included, it's about 3 hours.
We're about 3 hours. So we'll see what happens. It's a day podcast. It's a little different from what we're used to our nights and our early mornings. But yeah, so we're finishing up. We just did a Boiler Room, 2000 Boiler Room, and 2015 The Big Short. We're now moving on to
Ryan Gosling.
We're gonna
all you ladies come in. It'll be ladies' night. Oh, what a night!
Oh, what a ladies' night!
The famous John Lovitz in The Wedding Singer.
I'm gonna take. He's losing. He's losing his mind, and I'm gonna reap all the benefits. Oh, by the way, guess who? Might as well. You're gonna be here this weekend, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna see a little John Lovitz at my house.
Nuh-uh.
A little bit of John Lovitz.
Where's he at? Was it on the TV?
I'm gonna have an interview. I'm gonna pay for one. Let's see if I can meet him. I gotta talk to him about The Critic. I love that show. We gotta talk about The Critic. Is probably one of my favorite animated shows. Like just the idea, the design of it was so cool. Let's talk about it.
Well, all right, man. Well, I guess we better sign off. And
There we go.
We'll see you with Ryan Gosling and Only God Forgives and The Nice Guys.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for hanging out.
You have a good evening. We'll see you later.
See you later. Adios.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.